vote in Pennsylvania for the upcoming election. Students at the fire-damaged St. Francis School in Springfield, Delaware County are back in class in a new location. And the Eagles blow out the Giants 28-3 in their first double-digit win in almost a year.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, good Monday. What a kickoff to the week. We have one of our all-time favorites, Riley Gaines. We have part of what I'm going to dub the Mount Rushmore. When Trump wins in Pennsylvania, Dan, we have two members of the Mount Rushmore on the show today responsible for that. And the other one contributed by giving me some startling mail-in ballot numbers that really indicate that Republicans, conservatives, Trump voters are listening to the message and banking their vote. They're at least requesting the ballot, and we believe they are banking the vote. Today, though, is the last day to register to vote in Pennsylvania. So, one of the Mount Rushmore, when Trump wins Pennsylvania, Scott Presler is coming up momentarily. We almost never do this at the top of the show. It's rare. But given Presler, given every moment counts and getting those people registered to vote, he's got new numbers, too, that are apparently startling as far as Republican registration versus Democrat across Pennsylvania. The other member of the Mount Rushmore who will be on a little bit later in the show at 12:30 is Jim Worthington, the guru of health over there at the NAC. He'll be with us because he was the quarterback of the Trump fryer getting into that McDonald's. It took a lot of persuasion. You can realize the guy was probably afraid he'd be boycotted. If that starts, we'll tell you so that you can flock there and buy him out of everything McDonald's you can think of. I'll call upon Dan's expertise since I don't know if you know the menu as well as Trump. I mean, it's
I know the entire
obvious.
menu by heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could beat Trump, though. I mean, I think he's pretty
I
serious
could beat him
about
in McDonald's trivia. You kidding me? Bring him in here.
All right. Well, let's work on that.
I challenge you, President.
All right. But here's the man of the hour, part of the Mount Rushmore. When Trump wins, if I were in Trump's shoes, I got to give this guy anything he wants, which I think is to turn him loose on his next mission. The one and only with us, the last day to register today, Mr. Scott Presler. Scott, welcome in. Today is your day. All that hard work, we're in the final lap.
Yes, thank you. Today, October 21st, is the last day to register to vote. So everybody listening, whether or not you have just voted in the primary this year and you vote every single year, I just got off the phone, Dom, that a voter in Luzerne County told me he has been hearing from 4 out of 4 voters, which means people that have voted 4 times in the last 4 years, and they're checking their status only to find that they can't find their voter record, that they're not registered to vote. And so it is imperative, every single person, you check your voter status, you make sure you're an active voter registered at your current address, please.
Do that, too, and round up anybody that you think won't get off the couch, as Trump said, and be registered to vote. So, Scott, before we go forward, though, because I know you have some other massive news, just a question. What do you do tomorrow? What's Scott Presler do next? I'm serious. This weekend, I'm telling you.
Question.
I'm saying,
entire life's been consumed.
I would tell you this. Dan is great, but if I were doing a national radio show and needed somebody, I don't know what your role is. I'm just plugging you in and say, go get 250,000 listeners by tomorrow. So, Scott, what are you going to go do next?
Thank you. Well, it's a great question. We've been focused on voter registration for the last 4 years, and today is the day. At 11:59 p.m., that is the last precise moment you can register. So immediately, our 70 staff, we have 70 staff at earlyvoteaction.com, and every one of those team members is going to transition immediately into get out the vote mode, into early vote mode, into ballot chasing mode. And that's going to be 70 additional staff to the already 120 PA chasers that Cliff Maloney has.
Well, yeah, I like that guy. I like what he does. But I know Presler. Scott, I'm telling you, I just thrilled. I have known producers sometimes get a little bit itchy. It's too relentless. I've never seen anything like Presler, but it's like courting. It's like he's knocking on a door and he's courting. You actually use that word with your people. Court to vote.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes, our strategy is to meet people where they are, wear our heart on our sleeves, and truly, when you're at your gas station, wear your Trump hat. You talk to the gas station attendee. When you're at Walmart, wear your Trump hat, and you talk to the cashier. I mean, literally, every human interaction you have from now until November, I want you to ask every person for their vote for Donald Trump and our entire Republican ticket. And I want you to be just so sincere and earnest and show them your heart. We love our country so much, and it's going to take neighbors like you guys peer-to-peer in order to win this November.
Absolutely. Now, what are the latest registration numbers, Scott?
Oh, it's devastating for the Democrats. So listen to this. Last week, Democrats added 9,400 voters, and Republicans added 22,000. I thought that was good. I thought that was great. But listen to this. This last week, Democrats added 12,400 voters. Republicans added 27,000 registered Republican voters this last week. 27,000. And it gets so much better, Dom, because in the last week alone, Republicans added nearly 1,000 registered Republicans in the Amish area. Bucks County is now close to having 4,000 more registered Republicans. Center County lost more Democrats, meaning we're still under 1,200. And even in Luzerne County, we're about 2,000 voters more registered Republicans than Democrats. We are gaining momentum all throughout the Commonwealth.
Well, with you out there chasing the vote, I thought that's what you were going to say next. We are in good hands. And, Scott, I started my own Mount Rushmore when Trump wins Pennsylvania. Jim Worthington is on it. He's coming up. He did the Fryer deal, and he's raised more.
Great.
Yeah, you know him. He raised more money for Trump, arguably, than anybody that we know. Linda Kearns, voter integrity. Parnell, the mail-in ballot. But the centerpiece right there, I don't know if you're FDR or Jefferson or, you're Washington. There. We got the wig. Is Scott Presler.
Wait. Did you just imply that Scott Presler wears a wig?
No, but Washington had a wig.
That is all natural.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking for long hair there. His hair is more real than mine. We've both seen it there. So, Scott, happy hunting today. Tell people one more time where they can go to help out.
Please, guys, please. Check your status right now. Type into the internet, vote.pa.gov. Check your voter status. If you're inactive, re-register to vote at your current address. And this is lastly very important. If you have a Pennsylvania driver's license, you may register to vote online. If you're a student, if you don't have a PA driver's license, go to your Board of Elections right now. Go to your elections right now. Use the last four of your Social Security number, and you get that vote locked in, please.
Absolutely. Scott, to be continued. Thank you for the update very much.
Thank you, Dom.
All right,
Bye.
Scott Presler. Thank God he's still going to be in the fight. I knew he's not going to stand down. I mean, what's this guy going to do? This election has been a story second to none that I've ever seen, and Presler's definitely a part. Jim Worthington will be here at 12:30. He's the one that set up the McDonald's yesterday for Trump to go there. Needed a lot of suasion because I think the guy that owned it wanted to do it, but he's afraid there'll be a massive boycott. And what did we learn yesterday out of this? Well, some guy named Caphart. I want to make sure I play this, Henry, early on. Do you remember which one Caphart was of MSNBC? Oh, yes. Cut 23, Dan. He's mad because Trump was paying for some of the meals. He's the guy, though, that also said, and Trump didn't even have a hairnet on. What's up with that? Cut 23.
Trump also stopped by a McDonald's in Bucks County today where he worked briefly as a fry cooker. Without a hairnet, I might add. He also said he was paying for some of the meals.
Stop. Oh, come on.
Yes, he doesn't like them giving the meals. Dan, I'm making a big point
This is
here.
MSNBC?
Yes.
Sounds like Comedy Central.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? They're begrudging people getting free meals there. Just like Josh Shapiro showed his true colors yesterday, this guy means it. They're weaponizing. They're going all out. And who's their target? Elon Musk. This is cut 20. Here's Josh Shapiro. He doesn't like Musk making maybe 15 new people millionaires.
Governor, let me ask you about a development we learned about overnight. Elon Musk says he will be giving away $1 million every day to random voters who sign his super PAC's petition. You are a former attorney general. Is this legal?
I think there are real questions with how he is spending money in this race, how the dark money is flowing, not just into Pennsylvania, but apparently now into the pockets of Pennsylvanians. That is deeply concerning. Look, Musk obviously has a right to be able to express his views. He's made it very, very clear that he supports Donald Trump. I don't, obviously we have a difference of opinion. I don't deny him that right. But when you start flowing this kind of money into politics, I think it raises serious questions that folks may want to take a look at.
So you think it might not be legal, yes or no?
I think it's something that law enforcement could take a look at. I'm not the attorney general anymore of Pennsylvania. I'm the governor, but it does raise some serious questions.
Oh, you mean your lackey over there who still hasn't appointed a SEPTA prosecutor, that attorney general. Can you imagine? The way to frame this is not just, as I will, Zuckerbucks, $400 million. Josh Shapiro, you were attorney general then. Josh, did you say anything about Zuckerbucks? This doesn't look right. How can we be having this money just flow into Democrat areas? $400 million they used to beat us in 2020. Remember that? Not a word. But Elon Musk is going to make, 10, 12, 15 people millionaires here. That's the way to frame it. Trying to take away from people again. Coming in, the state snatching it up. I think by any time soon, there'll be a massive attempt to shut Elon Musk down. That's what they're doing. They're weaponizing. I'm looking at a story at Fox. Department of Justice is deploying district election officers to handle threats and intimidation. In other words, they're sending in the feds to go after people in every way, shape, or form over so-called misinformation. Now, good for Elon Musk. That's 15 more people. I don't know. The tax bite will be enormous. That might get something good out of this. He's got the money. He's doing it responsibly. Good for Elon Musk. $400 million in Zuckerbucks. One more cut. Let me see here. Here's Josh Shapiro. I played that one already. Okay. Here is the cut. Oh, you like 19, Dan? Yeah, 19's pretty good too. Shapiro on the spot yesterday on Meet the Press. Christian Welker, and I got to say this, Welker didn't let up. What's the policy difference between Harris and Biden? Can you name one? Here's round one.
Governor, given how unpopular polls show President Biden is, has Vice President Harris done enough to distance herself from President Biden?
You know, Kristen, I think what is clear is this is a race not between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, but between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Oh, God.
And on that, there are clear contrasts.
Nope.
Kamala Harris wants to cut taxes for the middle class and small businesses. Donald Trump's tariffs and his economic policies would raise costs.
Hey, let's stop it right
there.
there, Dan. I can't tell you, Trump went to a barber shop in New York, and guess what those guys were talking about? He's one in Philly today. They wanted to know, what the heck is wrong with tariffs, they're saying in the barber shop. What does it matter with these people? And Trump actually said, well, in the 1890s, we used tariffs, and they didn't have the federal income tax. And these guys said, no federal income tax. Wow. Now they're going crazy. They're going crazy. So good, Josh. Good, Josh. Be on the side of taking money from middle-class people and be on the side of defending excessive taxation. I'd like to see the federal income tax go away. Do I think it could be done? Yes. You may not like the way we would do it, but yes, it could be. The tariff idea is a winner. They're not tagging Trump with a sales tax. The guys in the barber shop got what this guy doesn't get. All right, Dan, continue.
You want to continue with the first round?
Yeah,
or go to
second round.
Okay, let's go to second round.
I understand what you're saying, Governor, but polls do show that more Americans feel as though President Biden's policies have hurt them rather than helped them. So can you name one key policy difference between Vice President Harris and President Biden? How would her administration look different?
You know, I've been really encouraged by the amount of energy that Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, has put into focusing on how she will cut taxes for small businesses. The focus on child care tax credit expansion. That's something I've done here in Pennsylvania. We've seen that work to ease the burden on families. I think a focus on those kinds of things is particularly important, and those are the kinds of things I think Kamala Harris has brought specifically to this race.
Round three, she scores the point, though, Dan, what we're both thinking. Well, wait a minute. That's a Biden policy. How's that different? Here's Welker.
Those aren't necessarily differences, though. They're an expansion or a tweak to some extent to what's been done. Can you name one policy difference?
Well, listen, again, the contrast I am focused on, Kristen, is between her and Donald Trump. And on that, I think it is clearly different. I don't want to go back to Donald Trump when he was in charge of this country. Remember the record. I know there's still some people that have maybe a little brain fog. They don't remember what it was like. Under Donald Trump, you had more chaos, you had less jobs, and you had a whole lot less freedom. I don't think we want to go back to a time of chaos. I want a stable, strong leader, and that's Kamala Harris.
Even the chameleon can't answer that question. And again, everyone, those of you that mock us when we play a clip from The View for humor, etc., where did all this start with Kamala Harris putting her in this box about how are you different? Sonny Hostin on The View. You can't make this stuff up. I know Dopey, home court advantage, and she's flummoxed by it. He can't answer it. He didn't even attempt to. All right, let me give you the side question. Coming up, I'll tell you where the Mr. Softy voter nonsense truck is going to this Friday, we're told. I want to map out the route of where they start and how they get there and who they meet. If it's before the show, Dan, I'd like to be waving as they come to the gates. Yeah, I said gates. I'll tell you where that is coming up. 855-839-1210. You get in, though. Side question today. It is Back to the Future Day, an almost perfect film. I know there are some, they shall remain nameless, who think Back to the Future 2 is even an acceptable film.
It's proven better, Dom.
Oh, my God. Easily. That's it. That's even worse. Try to get from the record of the show,
It's
Henry.
like saying Godfather 1's better than Godfather 2.
Well, Godfather 2 we know is.
Well, we know Back to the Future 2 is, too. It's,
we'll go back and rewatch it.
Commonly agreed upon opinion.
So I have more information. I've just seen bits and pieces of it. It so disgusted me. But anyhow, the side question is, hit us that time and location in history, both the day and the location you'd like to go back to. And it's all in the telling. Whatever your reason is that you want to go back to that moment. It could be fun, frivolous. It could be important. I'm going to go back to 11/22/63. I'm going to be coming up the steps of the book depository, the 7th floor. Hey, Lee, It's over, buddy.
You're going to dive on him?
Yes, put down that curtain rod, Lee.
But what would it matter? There's a second. Second shooter. You can't stop both of them at the same time.
Yeah. Also, stopping Kennedy from being killed, thus stopping the Borowski theory of life of conspiracy. That's where it started with that shooting.
I would just tell him not to ride around a convertible that day. Hey, leave the top on.
You don't have to be there, Dom.
You know what? You can do that.
I suggest putting a top on
Sorry,
the car.
I can't get the top down today. All right. You know what?
We still have the moon landing, Dom.
That was a very practical. No, none of them. That's the granddaddy. I know it. That's where it started. All right, Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, so in honor of the World Series getting kicked off soon, I thought about it. There's nothing like your first time. So let's throw it back to, what would it be? It'd be 44 years ago today, 10/21/80. Philadelphia Phillies win the World Series here at home.
Okay.
We should be there this year.
All right. Pretty decent.
Crowd will tell you what happened.
Dodgers or Yankees, guys?
Who do I want or who do I think?
Who are we wanting?
I want the Dodgers.
It's going to be the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So I think the Yankees are
the
pretty
Dom
flawed.
Show team of the World Series is officially the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think the
Don't tell Tommy John.
Yankees are flawed. Yeah. All right, Dan, what do you say?
I'm going to go back to August 14th, 1945, Dom, in Times Square to witness a moment. You know me. When there's one word that I often associate with the Dan kind of world, it's camaraderie. And I love the camaraderie of the Trump rallies, and I love the camaraderie of the station events. And I would have loved the camaraderie of VJ Day in Times Square, seeing that kiss happen and just the celebrations that happened that day, Dom.
Well, the kiss, I think, was VE Day.
VJ Day. I looked it up.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
No, I think it was Victory over Europe Day because it was in the afternoon. I could be wrong. You might be right. I hope it's VJ
Wikipedia
Day.
could be wrong.
They say VJ Day.
VJ Day, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just Victory in Europe.
Well, whatever it is, that's where I want to be.
Okay, we got you. Yeah, the kiss. The kiss to me is there's nothing more beautiful than that. Come on. By the way, she wasn't a nurse. Dental hygienists, like in Dr. Benson's, used to dress like that.
They didn't know each other either, right? It was just like
they didn't know each other. But she was fine with it. It wasn't,
Would that be allowed today in 2024?
Oh, well, that's why they want to take the statue away. I want it here. All right, 855-839-1210. Got a lot. Jim Worthington at 12:30. How did McDonald's almost not happen, and what did Worthington do? But your calls are next on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I heard a press conference with Terrell Parker, the mayor here. She went on and on about the lawlessness of Philadelphia and the gun violence. What are you doing about it, sweetheart?
Yeah, that was my rant about a month ago. I'm done hearing about your lip service.
How long has she been in office for?
9 months. Where's the Philadelphia Inquirer and all these local media people? Are they grilling her? Do we know about that? Is there any tough questions coming her way? Or are we still in the honeymoon phase?
I've seen nothing in 9 months.
Yeah, although they report that crime is down.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Harry, if you watch any more of those stupid financial shows, I'm filing for divorce.
How am I going to keep up with our retirement accounts? At JML Financial Group, we want you watching your grandkids playing soccer and sunsets in Hawaii, not the latest rumor of a market crash. Surprisingly, with proper income planning, the stock market shouldn't even be a concern. The money came in every 2 weeks while you worked. It should be the same in your retirement years. Let us show you how. Call JML Financial Group today at 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. So, when your neighbor's sunbathing in the front yard,
Harry, you're an idiot. Get away from the window.
keep your eyes focused where they should be, on enjoying your retirement. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Business owners can count on McCausland Lock and Alarm to secure and control access to their facilities. Enjoy peace of mind while their access control and CCTV systems provide top-of-the-line protection for your assets. Tom McCausland's wealth of experience allows McCausland to effectively protect all types of facilities in any environment, and their customer service is unmatched. Call today, 610-430-1500. 610-430-1500. McCausland Lock and Alarm, securing your business, securing your future.
The following is a paid commercial message.
It's happening here in Pennsylvania. Sanctuary cities are releasing violent illegal immigrants onto our streets with the help of Bob Casey. Casey voted repeatedly to fund these dangerous sanctuary cities. Casey's policy let more illegals, more criminals loose in our neighborhoods, making our families less safe. Worse, instead of deporting criminal illegals, Casey voted to give them amnesty. Casey's amnesty would give illegal immigrants your Social Security and Medicare. That's right, Casey would give your benefits to illegals, but he'd also make you pay more. Casey voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits. Seniors can't afford higher taxes? Bob Casey, taxing you to pay illegals. It's just another Casey con job. It's time for a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The crowd will tell you what happens.
Is that Trump at the Steelers game? No?
That's HK calling the final game of the World Series 1980, though.
Oh, okay. Now I hear Harry Carroll's voice at the end. I thought it was kind of...
Oh, you were being serious. I thought that was a fantastic joke.
I thought it may have been the Steelers, and they were waiting, didn't know Trump was there. I know it was a big moment. All right, that's the side question today. Great film, Back to the Future. Give us a date and time. It's all in the call. All in the call on that. All right. Now, we're told by the other commissioner out there in Montgomery County, and again, they have a lawsuit against them. They are unrestrained. They are out of control. But I'm going to do my best to make people in Montgomery County, if they're not completely deranged, escaping Philadelphia and still being a progressive, how do they feel that $143,000 in tax money is being used to go to these progressive areas, to go where the Democrat vote is? And one of the biggest places they're going apparently on Friday is Graterford Prison. Oh, yeah, the poor little prisoners don't have enough. You want your vote spoon-fed, canceled out by the prison van. That's right. Headed to Graterford. I was by there the other day when I was headed to the golf course. I guess there's some gate. There's a line. You can stand there driving and holding up a sign, Dom Giordano. We know what you're doing here. Now, Dan, I told you, I wish you had been part of this. I was on at 6 o'clock, a previous election, where Democrats were going to the Fromhold prison, whatever the whole thing is there, right? Up there in northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And there were some people, it was unclear, that might have been able to vote. But there were a lot of people who were not. They were just determined they were going to get every prisoner. I sent Kurt Weldon and a state representative up there. When they came out of the gate with their satchel of these votes, they ran. They dropped them. And as I told Dawn, Larry Menti was on CBS 3. We were affiliated with CBS. I told him about it. We coordinated. So live on the air, they're talking to me and they're talking to him on TV. Just think of what has to come together right around 6 o'clock for these idiots to come running out with the votes, drop them, and run. But the DA in Philadelphia, not Larry Krasner, would not prosecute. Why? They're all Democrats. Not going to prosecute that. So how do we know
who's paying for this thing?
The taxpayers.
Really?
It's $143,000. These commissioners are paid by the taxpayers, the gas, the mileage, and everything else on that. Montgomery County taxpayers.
Imagine the Democratic reaction. Remember when Scott Presler needed a new car? If a Republican commissioner was like, we're going to get Scott Presler a new car. He's doing a great job registering voters.
Yeah, exactly.
That would not fly.
Do these progressives, are they that deranged? They actually want their vote potentially, well, they probably figure they're going to vote with them anyhow. Democrats know who their voters are. Criminals. Yeah, among others. Why are they headed to Graterford? It's a happy hunting ground. How dare you? You sound like you don't want to give people a second chance. No, I don't want them voting from prison. I'll be honest about it. I think if you commit a felony, there ought to be a period of time you get out. We see how you do, a couple years, and then you can vote again. But no, I don't think you ought to be able to vote from prison. And that's where they're headed. That's what they're going to be engaged in. Now, as taxpayers in Montgomery County, do people have access to prison so we can see what they're doing? Apparently not. How do we know what they're doing? And they have a lawsuit. They have several lawsuits against them. And yet the Mr. Softy truck is going to the prisons. Boldness. The boldness out there. They are worse than Philadelphia. To my knowledge, Philadelphia's not sending Mr. Softy trucks to the prisons. All right, let me take one, then we'll go to Jim Worthington. Let's go to Richard in South Philly on Talk Radio 1210. Okay, Richard, what date in history do you want to go back to?
March the 16th, 2013.
Why is that?
I won the $57 million Powerball ticket.
You did?
He's saying
Yes.
if he went back.
Oh, if you went back. Okay.
Wait, did you actually win that, Richard, or are you saying you would go back to that day?
and win it.
No, I won it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, and I took the cash payment. Came to $19,400,000 clear. And you know what I did with that money?
What?
I bought a lot of real estate in Philadelphia. In those days, you can buy in South Philadelphia under $50,000. You needed a loan to work in it, but it was worth it. Now all those properties, Union Center City I bought, all those properties are triple the amount of money. And I still live in South Philadelphia. I bought the house next door to me. I broke right through.
So hold on. 10 years later, you often hear people say they regret winning the lottery because it dug such a hole for them. I'm assuming that you made such great investments that you're set for life and generationally. You're still good, huh?
Dan, I'm telling you, I'm still a single man. I'm very frugal with my money. You understand? I didn't quit my job with UPS at all. I still worked and everything else, and I bought property.
Good stuff. Thank you, Richard. Wow. Dan, I have to put this on. I know him a little bit.
You don't think you won?
I have had other calls with him. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know why he wants to go back to that date, though. He already won. He just wants to go back and sell it.
That feeling is second to none. Winning the lottery.
Right.
Because it's like getting struck by lightning.
So he wants to experience that feeling
twice.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Maybe double up on the money, too.
Okay. That's fair enough.
God, it's so hard for me not to ask for something.
All right, 855-839-1210. I only want it for one thing. I'm not doing anything else with it. Buying strings of radio stations, running for president right there. But we're going to need a couple billion, I guess. All right. I'm not eating at McDonald's, though. Can't do that. I'll do anything else. The shot, yes, you survived. The McDonald's, I don't know. All right, what does Trump eating at McDonald's tell us about Trump? Something that really connects. And the guy, Dan, think of the incongruity of this. Jim Worthington, he's in the pictures with Trump there. Our guy from the NAC is the picture of physical fitness. And here he's parlaying deals for Trump to go to McDonald's, only in this campaign. He's going to take you inside next. How it happened that we got Trump over at the McDonald's yesterday, something that was a brilliant political move, without a doubt. It just underlines again, Snopes says, unproven about Kamala Harris working at McDonald's. I think it's even money that she didn't. Would you make something like that up? Yeah, apparently you would. All right, all that straight ahead. Talk Radio 1210.
Hutchinson Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing brings the plumbing expertise you need for fast home solutions. Whether you've got leaky pipes, a clogged drain, or a water heater disaster, Hutchinson has your back. And right now, get $50 off any plumbing repair. Expert technicians, same-day service, and a job done right the first time. Need an expert plumber today? Visit HutchComfort.com, and Hutchinson's help is on the way.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The work week starts off with high temperatures a good 15 degrees above average. Plenty of sunshine today with a high 81. It does cool down tonight, mostly clear, low 56 for the city and cooler out in the suburbs. Another very warm day on Tuesday, plenty of sunshine with a high again, 81.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at the Sellersville Theater in Sellersville, PA, Saturday, November 1st, with Norm Clark and Vince Valentine. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, time to your Giordano show. Oh, my goodness, a change. Vice President Harris is in Malvern with sourpuss face Lynn Cheney, sort of trying to tell us how she's different, struggling from Joe Biden, but at least it's an attempt. All that, a question from The View. Still having trouble with it. All right, Jim Worthington is on the Mount Rushmore, the four people when President Trump wins Pennsylvania who did it. Presler, Worthington, Parnell, Linda Kearns. They're my four. And he brokered the deal to get President Trump to this McDonald's. You would think that'd be easy, right? I don't think so. Think about the guy that runs the McDonald's there, rolling the dice with this. You can see the upside, but you know how the left is. How did Jim do it? Let's go to Jim Worthington, owner of the Knack out there in Newtown on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jim, welcome in.
Hey, good afternoon, Dom. Thanks for having me.
Well, that's quite a story. MSNBC critical because Trump did not wear a hairnet. Was there any hairnet discussion?
Not that I overheard, but he looked great in his robe. Whatever the hell you call that thing you put around your apron.
Yes.
He looked awesome, and he was really proud of that. I got to tell you, he made sure he had a picture with the staff, the employee staff there, and they couldn't have had a better day. The employees absolutely loved him. He's a charmer when he's around people, that's for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. We have the sound, Jim, of people coming through the window. It was unbelievable. But talk about, thank God you met with this guy, and I can imagine the guy sees a tremendous upside, and it is the former president, maybe president of the future, but we all know you can be boycotted. You've faced all kinds of things out there in Bucks County.
Yeah, honestly, you nailed it. You had when he first heard about it, he was excitedly nervous about it. And was all on board. And then as a couple days went by, he started to get, apprehensive because, you hear the stories of how people, because you're trying to do something. It wasn't that he was, forget about the political leanings. I never really asked him if he was Republican or Democrat, but it was more, hey, would you like to host the former president of the United States, which you would think would be an iconic thing for any business, no matter who the party the president was with. And he just started to get nervous. I had to talk him off the ledge to get him back back to where he felt comfortable with it. He was also concerned about corporate and what would the McDonald's corporate and how would they feel about it. And they kind of weighed in. And at the end of the day, cooler heads prevailed. And probably an hour before the president was there, I was inside, obviously, the McDonald's. I pulled him off to the side, the owner. I said, look, your situation can be a lot different than mine. I have 12,000 members. Many of them come 3-4 times a week. It's a different relationship. I said, your biggest problem is going to be when this is over, enough staffing over the next week or two to make sure the demand, everybody's going to want to show up and be there, right? So, and then I told him 20 years from now, people are going to drive down the road and say, you know what? The president served fries there and worked the drive-through line. So I said, I think you're going to be fine. I also told him that, and I'll announce this now, not this week because he's going away with his kids to, believe it or not, to Romania from Thursday to Tuesday for some kind of martial arts thing he's doing overseas with his kids. But the following week, I'm going to announce a 2-hour time period on me, probably 5 to 7 one day the following week, where everybody that comes into the McDonald's, drive through or walk in, I'm going to foot the bill for it and make sure that, I'm going to make sure he get. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
Jim, you
by the way,
you got to come back on and promote that here, and we'll come up, even though, how does Trump do it, Jim? Come on now. You're the physical fitness guru. He's never jogged in his life. I can't even imagine saying a word to him. And he is an inveterate eater of McDonald's food. He thinks it's cleaner or he won't be poisoned or something. It's just luck and a marvel and good genes, I guess.
Yeah, you know what, and I've seen this before. And I've been in this health club business for 45 years, and I've been training since I was 14. There's some people that just, live a different lifestyle when it comes to nutrition and exercise that, live forever. You see there's oddities where, you see where a guy like Jim Fixx jogged every day for his life forever and died at 60, and you go, how the hell did that happen? And then you get a guy like President Trump who, he's primarily a golfer. He doesn't eat the healthiest diet. I can tell you every time they get on Trump Force One, he's having McDonald's and things like that delivered to everybody there. But he's just genetically different.
Wait a minute, Jim. Now, Jim, do you partake then? Do you say, all right, I got to take one for the team?
No, they offered me a fry yesterday from the president. I said, Mr. President, I'm in the health club business. I got to turn that down. He just laughed. But my wife, Kim, grabbed one. She was, well, I'll take one. So he was happy with that. But you know what? And forgetting about that, the pace, imagine yesterday he did interviews in the morning, got to the McDonald's at 1:30 on time, then went to Lancaster in front of 10,000 people, then flew to Pittsburgh where the stadium erupted in USA chants The guy is a machine, and it's so comical when I hear Kamala Harris talk about him being tired, this and that. I was with him Wednesday night at his last fundraiser rally at Mar-a-Lago on Wednesday, and he had said that he had did 48 straight days of not a day off, and he was going to go the rest of the way till November 5th without a day off, and he's planning 3 to 4 events per day. Nobody outworks this guy. Her week doesn't equal his one day. I mean, he's just a machine.
Well, I've found, Jim, that this is one of the biggest things of the people that win the presidency usually. Usually they cannot imagine. You've seen it up close. I have it with a couple people. The intensity, the physical, emotional, mental demands, it's second to none. It's beyond a marathon.
Well, yeah, and you're talking about a guy, by the way, who got shot in the ear,
yes.
Got up, raised his fist, and the next day was playing a round of golf in the morning and then doing campaign things after that. I mean, he's just got a gear, 2-3 gears higher than anybody I've ever seen in my life. And it's good. And by the way, I'm in the fitness industry. I'm pretty healthy, and 68, I would feel like that I feel like I'm 40. Somehow at 78 years old, he is just able to crank it up. And I've asked him, when he gets, what I'm told is he gets little cat naps on the plane when he's going, some 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And when he wakes up, he's like he got 8 hours sleep. The guy is just incredible. I'll tell you the other thing too is that he does not drink, he does not smoke. That's a big part of keeping healthy. They're two major things. His weight for his size, he's a big man. His weight for his size is probably about where it should be. Maybe he can drop 5 pounds, 10 pounds, but who couldn't drop 5 or 10 pounds? I mean, he's not. I will tell you this, and from back in the days, he is and was back in his younger days a hell of an athlete. So
baseball
it's not like
player.
This guy
Yeah.
is not an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Tennis, baseball, he can do it all. And I laugh about that when people talk about that. The guy's an athlete. So, and he's a competitor. I mean, the fact that he just keeps cranking it out and just one thing after another. And by the way, yesterday was as happy as I've ever seen him. He could not. By the way, he's historically late for most things.
Right.
He was on time yesterday.
Oh, yes.
I told you how great. It was great. He's the
Jim,
best.
thank you for doing it. I mean, really, when he wins Pennsylvania, we mentioned Scott Presler was on before you, Linda Kern, a couple of others, but you have done more. And I think when Trump sees you, it's a boost versus all the other stuff that's going on out there. It's an obvious thing. I can see it.
Well, I appreciate that. And, I love the guy. I think he's great for America. I think he's great for all Americans, particularly the middle class and less fortunate. He's their champion. And, if you had saw the 10,000 people outside on Street Road yesterday, and by the way, that was with 1 day's notice. The campaign did not want us to release that information for security reasons. We kind of leaked it out midday on Saturday, and words travel like wildfire. If we had announced that 3 days in advance, we would have had 25,000 people there. And by the way, it was just breaking out in USA. It was amazing. It was just an amazing day. And by the way, real quick, last day to register for vote to vote. And so you got to go to swampthevote.com and just get out there and register. And by the way, all the numbers, every indicator is that President Trump has got the wind at his back, and we're looking great. We just got to get everybody to vote, and he's going to be the next president of the United States if we can do our job in Pennsylvania.
Agree with that, Jim. I know that we will do that. Thank you, Jim. Thanks for putting on that event yesterday.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you letting me be on.
Jim Worthington here on Talk Radio 1210. Yeah, Dan, he didn't tell me till later on Saturday. I mean, I didn't know.
Come on.
No, maybe it was midday. I'm not going to tell anybody. Dan, get right over there. Chop, chop. Come on, let's get over to the Street Road. This can't be. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. If you were there, we'd love to hear from you. You got the side question going on. Coming up, I'll give you a little bit more to Jim's point. Sean Parnell, who's in charge of the mail-in ballot, sent me the figures the last 7 days. They're looking good at this point. Democrats in 2020 won by over 1 million votes, mail-in votes. This time, they're only ahead by about 300,000. Now, you hear that, they're ahead by 300,000. I'll give you a little bit more insight, too, to who is it that is getting mail-in ballots this time that's different than previous times. 855-839-1210.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Attention thrill seekers! It's the Monster Truckload Hot Tub Sale at Springdance Hot Tubs with deals so monstrous they'll send shivers down your spine. Save up to $5,000 on hot spring and Caldera hot tubs. Plus, the excitement continues with bonus accessories worth up to $3,000, salt system, insulated cover, and more. But beware, these monster-sized deals are only here until October 27th. Don't miss your chance. Visit Springdance Hot Tubs at springdancehottubs.com before these deals vanish for good.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient of PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, Don Giordano Show. We've arrived at something called, oh, by the way, Lizzo running up the back of this plane. She's a climate person, private jet there. What Lizzo said in Detroit with Harris is now into Trump ads big time. We'll play that. But Vice President Harris out in Malvern. I don't recognize the voice of the moderator other than Progressive Show. And Lynn Cheney's there with her. And she's asked, well, give us a sneak preview, essentially. How will you be different than Joe Biden is what they crafted. And listen to Harris's answer. She starts to put one toe in the water telling us how she's different than Biden, but then she really knows that she can't do it. Here's the exchange just moments ago in Malvern.
Go to the audience.
In many, many ways, Donald Trump is an
there?
unserious man. But the consequences of him being president of the United States are brutally serious.
Oh, okay.
There are things that he says that will be the subject of skits.
Skits. Okay. All right. This is the direct question now about turning the page.
You know, you talk a lot about a new way forward. You talk about turning the page. What's on the next page? Talk to us about.
You want a preview?
Yeah, give me a spoiler alert. You know, just tell us what's the rest of the chapter.
Well, first of all, I will say that it is a metaphor that is meant to also describe my intention to embark on a new generation.
Answer the question.
New generation.
And
there we go. Okay.
Needless to say, mine will not be a continuation of the Biden administration. I bring to it my own ideas, my own experiences. But it is also about moving past what, frankly, I think has been the last decade of the American discourse.
Did she prepare for this?
Being influenced by Donald
She still
Trump.
can't answer it. Now, so let's stop there, Dan, a little bit. This is an attempt. They're trying to get out of this. And again, I can't make the point enough. What goofball boxed her into this? Sonny Hostin on the home court advantage with The View. This is why The View has potency. It's idiotic, but this is what happens. So she's trying there to move forward and say, well, I'm a different person. But she knows that she can't say any policy that's going to be different. A, because she's essentially going to do what Biden's doing. And B, because, you don't want to turn him loose. He's already trying to sabotage her. How can you call him out and say it's going to be different? Here's a little bit more.
Of the American discourse being influenced by Donald Trump in a way that has had the effect of suggesting we as Americans should point the finger at one another, in a way that has been using the power of the presidency to demean and to divide us. I think people are exhausted with that. Right
Okay, let's stop there. So that's the other pivot. Back again to blaming Trump. Let's get off Biden here. The best in the business as a chameleon.
Who's advising her?
Yeah, yesterday we played you round three rounds with Christian Welker, Meet the Press, Josh Shapiro. Well, tell us, can you name one difference with Biden? He couldn't do it, and by the third, he looked silly. Usually he doesn't look silly. He just looks relentless, but he looks silly. He's probably saying, how many times do I got to go through? There is no difference. What are you talking about here? They can't answer it. They won't answer it, and it's going to continue to be asked. All right, we got a great 1 o'clock hour coming up, and we have Riley Gaines at 2 o'clock, along with Tom DeBello, commissioner out there in Montgomery County, who told us that the ice cream truck is going to the prison. Tell people out there in Montgomery County, $143,000. It's headed to the prison. All right, phone lines. Oh, Kane is here. I almost forgot. I'm going to get an elbow smack. What's his move again? I forget. Choke slam. Yeah, I'm going to get choke slam. Kane did a recent endorsement of President Trump along with The Undertaker, and I don't know who the third person was. Kane is with us next here. Mayor Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane, tells us why.
I'm such a nerd whenever he comes on. Yes. I am so excited for this.
Get your wrestling gear on at home. Jump on something. He's next here with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Top rope Lariat, come at you. Come on.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, $53.78. That includes your airfare, dining events at the winery, wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bisaccia from Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With crash-proof retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts, no worries. No fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Today is the last day to register to vote in Pennsylvania for the upcoming election. Students at the fire-damaged St. Francis School in Springfield, Delaware County are back in class in a new location. And the Eagles blow out the Giants 28-3 in their first double-digit win in almost a year.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Look at you. Your life is under control. Errands? Done. Groceries? Got 'em. It's a good time to give yourself a reward. You know the one. Your favorite tasty cake treat. Is it the delicious crimpet or the mouthwatering candy cake? No matter where you are, choose what feels right and enjoy. You've earned it, and you know you deserve it. Tasty cake, accept no substitutes.
Now on Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
November 5th, election meeting. Choice is yours. You can go with President Trump, Kane, and The Undertaker, or you can take Kamala Harris, Dave Bautista, and Tim Walz. Choose wisely. The nation depends on it.
And that should be an easy choice.
That, of course, is Kane. And Dan, you know the backstory for listeners, though. This Dave Bautista, who I don't know too much. Do you?
Yeah, he's really, a Hall of Fame level wrestler. He's an amazing guy, a great actor, Guardians of the Galaxy, but just want to put it out there that he does have a tattoo around his belly button, so that might say a lot about him.
All right, and he attacked Trump's manhood, saying Trump wasn't an Arnold Palmer or something.
I'll just say Trump does not have a belly button tattoo.
Okay, yeah, but he wasn't an Arnold Palmer, is the key thing. He said, look at this. This guy's not even a man. Look how bad he looks. And this then brought out both Kane and The Undertaker to jump in the ring with this Dave Bautista guy. Joining us is Kane, Mayor Glenn Jacobs, coming to us from the great state of Tennessee. Mayor, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
So that's a little bit of the backstory. We know that you were a big Trump supporter, even traveled at several events. I think it was in Iowa, which is, a lot to go and do that. Well, what's your response to this Dave Bautista guy, Mayor Glenn?
Dave and I have always gotten along really well. I would say this about Trump not being a tough guy. The dude got shot and in wrestling parlance did not sell it. So, yeah, he is a pretty tough guy. He can say a lot of things about Donald Trump, but to say he's not a tough guy is ridiculous. He's been, ever since he even started running for president, he has been threatened. He has been the subject of lawfare, unfair prosecutions and impeachments, and he still just keeps on going. So he is a pretty dadgum tough dude, and no matter what measure you use. And I don't think that there's many other people, especially especially Kamala Harris or Tim Walz, that would be able to do what Donald Trump has done and do it the attitude that he has.
Let's enter in as you guys did on Tim Walz. I mean, this is a flop of flops. I don't know in wrestling parlance who I would say. I don't know. You got Hulk Hogan over here.
It's like Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and you're putting Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble here when you could have picked. They could have put Shapiro in. What's your thoughts on Tim Walz?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that pick. Shapiro's pretty popular governor in Pennsylvania, and you would think that would have helped them in Pennsylvania. You've already got Minnesota. That's not. I mean, it's not really, it's a blue state, right? So yeah. I don't understand the thinking behind that. I don't really get it. And then, I think Tim Walz tries to be, hey, dude, just be what you are. I mean, that's part of the reason that people love Trump so much is because he is what he is, right? And you may not like that all the time, but he is a real human being. He's not this plastic made-for-TV product that so many politicians are. And, hey, Tim Walz looks like, he's your dad, right? That's fine. Why do you have to act like you're not a cool dude? I'm not a cool dude. Okay,
you are a cool dude.
I don't try to be. I don't try to be hip in that way because it's not who I am. I'm just not.
Right.
And that becomes just. It literally becomes insulting. And it's also Vice President Harris is doing a lot of the same things when she tries to kind of put on that fake accent when she's at different places. Just be yourself. And ultimately, that's how people are going to judge you anyway, because they see through all this stuff. So I don't know who their consultants are, but that would be my number one thing is like, look, just be yourself, and there's going to be warts and there's going to be flaws. That's part of what makes you a human being. And instead of trying to be the coolest person in the room, just be yourself.
Can I just interrupt real quick? Because Mayor Glenn, I see why you're elected because you're such a humble guy. But come on, you're Kane, man. I don't think there's – if you talked about how many kids dressed up as somebody because of how cool they were, I don't think you get an answer more widely known than Kane. So come on, you're a cool guy.
Thanks. Yeah, but I'm not the person that's gonna be able to get out there and like lead a cheer or do like a hip hop routine or something like that. I can't do that, and I know that. I mean, I'll make fun of myself when I try to do something like that. So
I mean, playing off X-Pac was pretty good. You were pretty cool there too.
Well, so. Yeah. I mean, but that was the thing. Whenever we did those kind of comedy skits, I was always making fun of myself, so I can't do that. And so, I'm not talking about like, that kind of cool. I'm talking about the manufactured, I'm cool and I'm a 21-year-old. No, you're not, man. You're a 60-year-old guy. Just act like a 60-year-old guy, and that's fine.
So, Mayor Glenn, have you seen Mr. McMahon? I consumed it all pretty quick on Netflix. I met several wrestlers, never you, and I haven't met McMahon, but we've had his wife on. Did that give us any kind of insight into the wrestling business? Was it close to the truth?
I actually haven't seen it.
Okay.
I just haven't had time to watch it. So from what I understand from folks, it was pretty good. But I haven't seen it for myself. So I can only offer the opinions that I've been given by other folks.
Gotcha.
Mayor, can you take us behind the scenes with Undertaker? I know you guys have such a great relationship going back so many years. I mean, you guys are essentially brothers, I would think. What was your hand in getting him? Was it you that suggested an endorsement of Trump or getting him on the podcast, or how'd that all work out?
No, actually, they reached out to me because they, say, hey, Trump's coming on this podcast, man. Would you like to come hang out? Like, of course. And what President Trump's doing is brilliant. He's allowing people to see the real him. He's getting away from just the political stuff, like working at McDonald's. I mean, here you have a guy he's a billionaire, but he can relate to people and people can relate to him. And again, how many politicians could do that? That they would be able to, just the ordinary person, the average normal person could come up and get like an order from McDonald's from the President of the United States. And it's so funny because like I saw this one clip and these people saying, oh, it's so cool that, you're talking to ordinary people. You're not ordinary. No one is ordinary. Everybody's extraordinary. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But what he's doing is he's getting away from the political stuff and getting more into where you can actually see him and his personality. And then that's the thing. I mean, everybody's like, oh, he's obnoxious and all that. He's really funny too, though. I mean, he is. He's very engaging and he's very entertaining. And when people see that side of him, it really humanizes him more than, obviously, the media is always trying to play him up as he's this, horrible, mean bully. But when you get to see him in these settings like this, you realize again, he's just a guy, and he's actually very engaging, very entertaining, and very transparent.
Yeah, Dan?
Yeah, so a guy that's been in wrestling for as long as you have, you know what charisma is, and you're talking about Trump here with incredible charisma. And we see over and over again wrestlers come into the industry without great promo skills, and somehow someone behind the scenes at WWE or elsewhere are able to teach them, promo skills and charisma. And you have Kamala Harris here, who's had so much time now in the public eye, and you would think she'd have someone like that behind the scenes, and she just can't get her hand on that kind of charisma, and it just comes off as completely inauthentic. I'm curious as to, do you think she has someone behind the scenes like you guys had back then helping out with promos, or what's going on there?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they have entire teams doing that, and they have consultants working on the image and where she's at, and what she's supposed to say and all those sort of things. The biggest issue, though, again, is, Trump, that is Donald Trump, all right? You may not like all of it, but that's him. He's authentic. He's genuine. He doesn't run from who he is. He doesn't try to hide who he is. The problem with her and actually most candidates and elected officials is they try to present a persona which is not them. When I was running for office, I would always joke that I was trying to convince people that I wasn't the person that they'd seen on TV for all those years, right?
Yeah.
But most politicians are trying to convince people that they are the person that they see in the soundbite
exactly.
or they see in the commercial. And that's where they run into trouble, is that's not her. And I think, too, they don't have a message which is really coherent at this point, because everything they've tried, they tried with Joy. Well, that just looks silly, okay? They've tried different things, and ultimately, though, the question in every presidential election, including this one, is, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Exactly.
The answer is a resounding no. And as long as they cannot answer that in the affirmative, it doesn't matter how you market yourself. It doesn't matter what kind of persona you put out there, because the facts speak for themselves. And then, of course, they literally lie about everything. She wasn't the border czar. Inflation is not this. Crime rates are going down. All of these things, there's objective reality and facts that you can look at, and then you just come across not only as being now you're not only being disingenuous about who you are, you're literally lying about the policies. And to me, that's a double whammy.
Absolutely. Mayor, thanks so much. Are you going to be involved in anything else with President Trump?
Man, we'll see. This is a really historic election. I think this is one of the most pivotal elections in our country's history. So it's neat to be able to be part of it in a very small way, but to see some of the stuff happening up close, you really do feel like you're part of history. So I don't know what's going to go on as far as whether I'm going to get to do anything else or not. But I certainly hope so. It's a lot of fun.
We'd be choke slamming anybody else on stage.
Madison Square Garden, the big rally. That'll be right there, yes.
There you go. Hey, you never say never.
All right. Oh, there we go. Hey, Mayor, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
right.
for joining us as
Thanks,
always.
guys.
Mayor Glenn Jacobs,
you.
what a nice, down-to-earth guy, but with The Undertaker teaming up and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
This Dave Bautista guy, I've only vaguely seen him over the years and just going right after Trump. All right.
I was just telling Henry back here, it's so surreal anytime Kane comes on the show.
Yes.
Like a guy that I said it earlier in the interview, I legitimately dressed up as this guy at Halloween. Like, I've been following this guy's career. Awesome interview, Dom.
It's going to be interesting to see the holiday. I'm waiting to see some of the stuff. Who's going to dress up as whom for Halloween? That's always a good thing. I'm thinking about it because Liz Cheney is dressing up as someone who can ignore what Kamala Harris is all about. She's going to be with her protecting the blue wall. She's over in Malvern today, Liz Cheney. And the Cheneys, the nerve of them. Think about the defense we used to do those years during the Bush years. And Cheney was one of the things people defended. And yet they want war. Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, That's where the resentment is. I'm not saying it just because of money, just because, by the way, I'm looking at the crowd on Fox today. That is hard to believe. When Jim Worthington said 10,000 people, it looks like it could be that and more camped out along Street Road. Dan, they're packed 10 to 11 deep for blocks. It's
amazing.
And we didn't know he was coming. He told me he was coming on Saturday. I don't even know if it leaked out even at that point exactly. And it wasn't clarified to really Sunday, and suddenly people swoop in on this. I wanted to play, I'll come back to Liz Cheney. So I don't forget, I wanted to play the Pittsburgh cookie sales. Now we see that it's not just here. This is Cut 13 of Pittsburgh area bakery. Now, I've done Pittsburgh radio a lot years ago. Moderate Democrats, but they were dug-in Democrats, even if a bit moderate. And this is just outside of Pittsburgh, inches Oakmont. Listen what's going on at their bakery.
Hey, it's me.
She bought a few Trump cookies.
And I wanted to get my mom one because she's 87 years old and she loves Trump.
I think we might not eat them.
We might save them just we might cherish them for a while now.
We didn't find anyone buying Harris cookies in our short time at the bakery.
Anything else tonight?
But that doesn't mean they aren't being purchased.
We actually just ran our numbers today. Donald Trump's leading at 21,000 cookies, individual cookies. Kamala Harris is at 6,200. And the Swedish candidate, it's about 9,800.
The Swedish candidate?
What?
Did he say Swedish or the Swedish candidate? They put a third candidate.
6,200. And the Swedish candidate, it's about 9,800.
They put a third candidate in there.
Swedish?
Yeah, I think Swedish, yeah. Just for fun.
Swedish.
Yeah. All right. So even there in Pittsburgh, which is more Democratic, arguably, maybe, same result. What does that tell us? What are people trying to do? Well, they're trying in their own way to inch Trump over the finish line. That's what they're living for. So it pains me, Dan, one of the most vilified men, and I remember the moment he did it. Oh, man, it was nuts. When he called the election for Biden on Fox News, the guy that's their election expert, he's back. I don't know if Brett Baer is the one that announced it. I think he might be, okay? And when he called it, all the air, just all the acrimony. He did an interview with Politico. He now says, I'm wrong a bit on this. He sets the over and under before we're going to know. The guy that actually jumped the gun there a bit, maybe. The over and under before we're going to know the election, he says, is sometime midday on Saturday. So just picture from Tuesday, 2 weeks from tomorrow, to possibly Saturday before we start to see the election calls. Oh, my God. And this is the guy who jumped in and called it the last time. Now, I still think it's not going to be that bad. I'm still saying sometime on Friday, but it's ridiculous. And they're all going back and blaming, well, we don't open our envelopes in Pennsylvania. No, they have to do better. We need to move on this. This is just unacceptable. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Don't forget the side question. But that's the latest, what he predicts. It will be midday or so on Saturday. There's not going to be any landslide here. And I think that's kind of dangerous talk of people. Look, we bring you the cookie stuff and all there. The base of support, the enthusiasm for Trump is unbelievable. But that doesn't mean this is not going to come down to the wire in Pennsylvania. I think under 50,000 votes, maybe under 25,000 votes. So there's still time to do a whole lot about this. Phone lines, 855-839-1210. Thanks to Dan, too, getting Kane on. The great thing of this election cycle is the friends you make, the people that have swerved into this. Riley Gaines are just an all-timer. Coming on at 2 o'clock. She's doing a big women's event down at the arena, Dan, where they hold wrestling matches in South Philly. They always go to Swanson Avenue, that arena, for some reason.
I love it. Old ECW arena, right? Yeah.
I think some of it is because I would say with Riley, Dan, you need as much security, maybe not as a president, but she needs more security than Vance, simply because of the antagonism out there. I'm finishing my column today. Everybody knows it's inflation, border, immigration.
Yeah.
There is a sleeper that I hope Republicans, including Trump and Vance, keep on hitting more. Boys or men in women's sports. People hear this, African-American males and others. If you lock it in, if you present it correctly as she does, they're outraged by it. And it tells them a lot about what Democrats have become. And Harris is not backing away from that, not even a little bit. All right, phone lines. 855.
I love it. It's like WWE, NXT, WrestleCon, TWA. Stand with Women with Tulsi Gabbard and Riley.
They choose Stand with Women.
It's a great
I don't
name,
know if they come out in wrestling.
2300 Arena is a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, we'll ask her about it. It's 855.
Got a nice little bar set up out front.
They used to have barbed wire matches there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ECW,
They
right?
should set up a cage and have them do it inside it.
Yeah, ECW, yeah.
Yeah.
855-839-1210. That's how you get him.
If you missed WPHT's Politics and Pints with Dom Giordano and Donald Trump Jr., now we have your chance to see it from the comfort of your own home.
When your grocery costs go up by 20%, it hurts you. It doesn't change anything for Taylor Swift. It's not going to stop her from flying on her Global Express. I don't know that she's in tune.
This Thursday night at 8, you can watch it in its entirety on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Click the subscribe button. That's Thursday night at 8, exclusively on YouTube at 1210 WPHT.
This is an ad for BetterHelp Online Therapy. October is for wearing masks, but sometimes we hide more often than we want. Take off the mask with BetterHelp. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit BetterHelp.com/healthieryou today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/healthieryou.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0, dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
Hey, it's Rich Isioli. You know that Dr. Mike Veneri is my friend. He's my dentist. He's the master of dental implants. Did you also know that he hosts an annual Veterans Breakfast every year to thank our men and women who have served our country? And he also hosts a free community shredding event so you can shred all those confidential, sensitive documents so nobody hacks your identity and tracks you down. Saturday, November 9th, Veterans Day weekend. Your opportunity to come out, say hello to our veterans, thank them, get some coffee, cake, donuts, even breakfast pizza. Breakfast pizza, what's that? It's a real thing. And if you've been thinking about about getting that beautiful smile you deserve, reach out to my buddy Dr. Mike Veneria. For 12 years, he's been recognized among his peers as a master of dental implants. He's a guy who cares, he gives back to our veterans and our community, and he's my entire family's dentist. You won't be disappointed. So come out on Saturday, November 9th for the Veterans Event and free community shredding event. Go to veneriadental.com for more information. veneriadental.com. I'll see you Saturday, November 9th at his Cinnaminson office, veneriadental.com.
New Jersey, this is Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th, or early in person starting Saturday, October 26th, or vote by mail. Details at vote.nj.gov.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by Advocacy United, this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that'll affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in, 855-839-1210. Just a little bit off, then I'm coming back to presidential politics. But, man, Cleveland might be worse than Philadelphia. Yesterday, Deshaun Watson, who, look, I don't know every legal aspect. Not a good guy, though. We can safely say that. Gets an Achilles injury.
You can see a pop.
Season ending, and he's down, and it's announced the crowd season being taken off and has a sense of that, and they're cheering. Man, if we did that here in Philadelphia, wow, that's brutal. Are they booing or cheering he's out for the season because he's a bad guy?
Yeah.
I think they're doing it just because he didn't play well at quarterback.
I mean, there's a lot of Browns fans who are even upset that they had this.
Okay,
they were essentially financially obliged to start this guy who they disagreed with morally.
I still don't think, though, you can be cheering a guy going off for the year with Achilles in his
No,
that's
tough. Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah, that's it. We're
as
back.
Much as I disagree with the guy myself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, he's a prime example of what the NFL is. They will put a criminal or potential criminal out there if there's even a marginal difference. And usually fans, a lot of them here would say, yeah, well, they're going to win. This is pretty gladiatorial, though. All right, let me go to Ben in Philly on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Ben, good afternoon.
Dom, how you doing? I used to know you 20 years ago when I worked for Michael Smirkanish in the morning show. I have to say, I'm really embarrassed for the way this show is going. I tuned in.
Well, isn't that nice of you, Ben, that you're embarrassed? Do you think I might be embarrassed that that's how you start? If you have a beef, Ben, tell me. Don't tell me how you're embarrassed.
I was getting to it. If you don't talk over me, I'd like to.
No,
the point was
I didn't talk over you. I made the point.
Okay, well, 20 minutes. I listened, and you had a random mayor from Tennessee.
Excuse me, Ben.
You and your co-host
let's skip for a second. Just so you're clear, Ben, maybe it's not your knowledge base. He's not a random mayor. He is one of the all-time wrestling giants who has a wide base of appeal.
And great, and I think that speaks to who is supporting Trump right now. But he spoke on three things that he said, and at the end of it, and they were completely false, and you didn't even question them. That she wasn't the border czar. He said she was the border. Kamala Harris has never been a border czar. That's a Trump moniker, and you all know
excuse me, we don't all know that. We don't all know that.
Well, we do actually. We do. Is there a position of border czar?
Excuse me, Ben. We're not dealing in your little world of unreality.
Is inflation coming down? Is it not? Is crime coming down?
No, excuse me. Let's go back.
You guys
excuse
are
me,
so
Ben.
obsessed with the
Can we
guy
do one at a time,
Ben?
Ben?
Democracy, and you're not paying attention.
Oh, so you're
I'm a former McCain staffer. I'm a former GW
great
Bush staffer.
for you. Well, that's even better.
Hey,
tell me about Iraq. How many people unnecessarily died in Iraq, Ben?
The guy is not saying what he's doing. The guy is saying what he's doing. He's telling you he's going to use the National Guard for his opponents. Do you want that, Don? There was a time when you didn't.
So, Ben,
there was a time when you didn't.
You believe
when
that's
you
what Trump...
Why?
Excuse me, Ben. Why did he not do that in the first term? Why did did he not do any of this nonsense?
Because he had a lot of people around him, including his entire cabinet that doesn't support him and his sitting vice president, that were guardrails. And now he knows the difference. And he knows not to put him in
so
there.
you're
telling
in the
you
camp.
what he's doing.
You're in the camp that if he wins on election night, that we all ought to be worried that the National Guard's going to be knocking on our doors.
President
Thank you,
Biden
Ben.
tapped
Thank you very
Kamala
much.
Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar. President.
Thank you. Yes. Now, look, the idea of trying to split hairs here, that she was only going to go to Central America.
Joy cometh in the morning.
And that was the only part of this. It's just not true. It was used again and again and again. Now, obviously, it's a burden for her, but she agrees with it. She agrees with the Biden policy. There is no doubt that she would we would go down the same path again. It's an article of faith. So we're not putting anything on her that has not been out there enough. I don't know if Snopes has ruled on this or not, if that's a be-all and end-all. All right, but it's apropos that Ben called in, because here is a psychologist, progressive psychologist, over the weekend telling you what should be done with people who are telling you they're going to vote for Trump or they have voted, and they're in your family. What should you do with them, particularly if they haven't voted yet? Here's what she said.
How did you know where the mess hall was if it's not in this book?
Oh, wrong cut there.
Okay.
Sorry. What was the number that you called for?
This is, let's see here, 11.
Gotcha.
Should you cut off contact with family members just because they are voting for Donald Trump? Yes. If so far they have not been able or willing to listen to compassion, to listen to kindness, to listen to you, or even to do their own research and discover that hatred's not the answer, that love and kindness is the answer. If they are unwilling to change, they must experience consequences. And you should not withhold those consequences from them. The consequence in this case would be they don't get your beautiful, loving, wonderful presence in their lives. It's over. And they are gone.
So this is the side that is the loving side here. This is what you have to do with those Trump people. This is where we are. I'm telling you, Thanksgiving this year is going to be even more. And my dread, and look, we're going to have Al Schmidt back on again. We can only push these people. I know that Linda Kearns and others are, that they stop the excuses and we get the vote counted accurately and as quickly as possible. The Fox guy, though, yesterday, the guy that calls the election for Fox News Channel, predicting we will not know until sometime early midday on Saturday. That's unacceptable. They're blaming Pennsylvania again. It is stunning. These are the people that want this system. They want the mail-in ballot. We don't want it. We're just doing it because we have to. And yet we can't get it done until midday on Saturday. He's looking at a lot of stuff, a lot of things that happened before, et cetera. Now, my hope, 24 hours ought to be enough that we know who the president of the United States is. Then there'll be lawsuits. There'll be back and forth in various states. It's going to be close. Now, Trump, though, a thing that the other side just does not get, that I am banking on, is exactly what Americans want. Trump is in North Carolina today, and he's making the point again and again and again. We have to take care of the people here first, not overseas. Is that not a fair point? The point is Ukraine, a million other things that we're spending on. How in the world do we do that? And it's been tepid at best, the response to the hurricane in North Carolina. I mean, it is an obvious thing. And every time he makes that point, it galvanizes people that might be on the fence about him. Seeing Liz Cheney here, Liz Cheney is a perfect example of this. Think about how the left went after Dick Cheney. George W. Bush was just referenced. The Republican Party has come a long way from George W. Bush, Dick Cheney. We're not going to get involved in these unending wars. And that's exactly what Liz Cheney and a lot of progressives want. They would get us involved a lot more in Ukraine. And Trump has changed the Republican Party. Now, I don't know what will happen after Trump's term is up or he goes away, whatever happens. Will the Republican Party stick to that? Because that's where the American people are. And they're called all kinds of names because they don't think it's worth it to have Americans dying and to be spending blood and treasury on all these excuses that we can get into war again and again and again. That's the biggest legacy, I've said it for how many years now, of Trump, not all this other stuff. All right, 855-839-1210. You get a line, AT&T and Verizon Wireless.
Caller, Dom.
How dare you continue to look away?
All right. Thank you, Greta. Yeah, I don't know if Greta. I do know that 100 members of the Labor Party are still supposed to come here to help Kamala Harris. They're looking for lodging. If I happen to see them here in Philadelphia, we'll get them on board. How's this not election interference, foreign government? They don't want Trump, they say. People in Great Britain don't. Another reason, potentially, to vote for Trump. This idea that we're going to care that Great Britain says, no, we don't like this guy. That's going to fire people up even more. All right, if you were at McDonald's, Robert at Ben Salem's next. He was yesterday on Street Road. Give us your sense of that. Hey, first, my friends at the Martin Water Conditioning are celebrating their 51st year with their annual anniversary sale. Now through the end of October, save on better water for your entire family. We've enjoyed crystal clear drinking water, I've told you, with the Giordanos for years, thanks to Martin Water Conditioning. This is a great opportunity for you to do the same. We love it. And the Martin Water Conditioning family is incredible to work with. No one is more passionate about showing you how they're getting those impurities out of your water. So, as I said, this is great tasting water, too. Tea, things like that, coffee, doesn't matter. Save up to $500 now on select systems for your home. You want to improve your drinking water? Martin is offering $100 off the Kinetico KX K5 reverse osmosis system. And if you purchase a water softener, you may be eligible for a free Kenix salt monitor, which is worth over $150. Special 18 and 48-month financing available to those who qualify. Save now through the end of October. Don't miss out. These deals are mutually exclusive and won't last long. Visit martinwater.com for more details. Schedule that free water test today. That's martinwater.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The work week starts off with high temperatures a good 15 degrees above average. Plenty of sunshine today with a high 81. It does cool down tonight, mostly clear, low 56 for the city and cooler out in the suburbs. Another very warm day on Tuesday, plenty of sunshine with a high again, 81.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Are you worried about your roof handling the next storm?
At Emmons Roofing and Siding, we provide top quality roofing services that fit your budget and stand the test of time.
And our team of roofing experts ensures your home stays safe and dry with durable, reliable roofing solutions to any problems you may have. Plus, at Emmons, we offer free inspections and free estimates.
So call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. Could there have been a worse call to arms yesterday, Dan? AOC was down there in Dickinson Square, Park in South Philly. They brought her in yesterday to get people out there door knocking, to get them roused up. And she had tweeted out, right now is when you should be out there. The Eagles are on right now. So if you knock on doors or hop on a text dialer, many of them may be at home. Let's get those contact rates up. Can you imagine interrupting Eagles fans? Hi, I'm AOC. You have to vote for Kamala Harris during the height of an Eagles game on Sunday.
I do have some audio of AOC down in South Philly talking about Republicans pushing fear tactics on the voters.
Okay.
To make everybody scared of immigrants, scared of trans neighbors, scared of the LGBT community, scared of a woman who can stand up and say no.
What the heck?
Of people who think independently, and if they can keep us all afraid of one another over our superficial differences, then it prevents us from coming together and standing up to Wall Street, and standing up to lobbyists, and standing up to big corporations that are keeping our incomes down and driving our housing prices up. And that's the whole game right here, is to keep us distracted with these superficial differences with one another. And the answer to that is not to ignore what they're doing, but it's to stand up and courageously stand for our neighbors. To stand up and stand for our neighbors.
All right, so here's a party entirely devoted. Exhibit A is Kamala Harris, entirely devoted to superficial gender, LGBTQ plus, transgender, white males need not apply, entirely devoted to that stuff, saying we're the ones that are provoking fear because we're bringing up things that are superficial. Well, AOC, we could do a whole hour or more just on the idea, is it superficial to have boys in girls' sports, men in women's sports? Americans don't think that's superficial at all. And I'm telling you, that still is an issue that breaks through a bit. Here's a little bit of a promo package. Dan, you're really on the AOC watch today. Dan, I had a chance. I was telling Ro, can I go down? Might never have a chance to see her in person again. I just wanted to get the vibe of this. You know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see the type of guys that are drawn to an event like this.
The AOC event?
Yeah, no, the Democrat taught wimps, just complete wimpery. Particularly go and knock on that Eagles door. But Dan, we ended up, Brigantine, the shore again with Ro. But first to stop, you ever been to Smithville?
Oh, yeah. I love Smithville.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes. It was great yesterday. It was warm. It was nice. It was a Corvette show. So I'd recommend everybody have a chance right over by Absecon, Black Horse Pike. Smithville was wonderful yesterday.
You ever take Ro out to Peddler's Village?
Yeah. We go there. It's like Peddler's Village. But this was even bigger. I mean, there must have been 150, 200 Corvettes there. Every time they had trophies for all kinds of categories. So, yeah.
I love Smithville. It's a lot of fun, and I love they got a little winery there. You can do some wine tasting and
Yeah, exactly.
feel nice walking around.
Yeah, very good stuff.
You want that a promo package?
Yeah, here's a promo package of the great AOC.
Let's win this thing.
So that we never have to hear the name Donald Trump ever again. We're exhausted from it.
We were in Allentown this morning. There were over 1,000 people who showed up for the door knocking canvas operation. And so that is the energy that we have going around.
When we fight, we win. Cuando luchamos, ganamos.
How many of y'all have filled out your early ballot so far? All right, there we go.
Being an American is not about who we're afraid of. It's about being courageous. And it's about standing up and courageously demanding
Very self-loving
what the
promo
direction
here.
is for a better country.
I'm going to call a spade a spade. Kamala Harris will be the first woman president of the United States. She is a black woman who will be a powerful leader for this country. And she comes from a middle class and working
let's stop
class
right
background.
there, right? I'm not going to do a Trump because it was stupid when he did that stuff. Is she black or not? But, Dan, we've seen this before. How about the other party in this? How about her mother who raised her? You know, if you want to say she's biracial, you want to say something like that, you're tired of them saying she's not black. How do you just get there, though, and engage in this after you've told us we're looking at superficial things? She's biracial. Her mother is the one that had the biggest influence and raised her, as far as I can tell. It's saying, all right, give us how much more of this do we have?
You got a whole minute.
No, that's it. We've already extended
enough,
our.
to be
I
fair.
wanted to see her in person, though, because I do think she has charisma of a sort for their side. But also, she's loopy many times. It degenerates into that. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem, who was over at the McDonald's on Street Road. Robert, afternoon to you.
Hey, Dom, Dan, how you doing today?
Good.
It was actually crazy. We kind of went over in a lark at the last minute because it's only 3 miles up the road from me. Do you know where Bustleton Avenue crosses Street Road?
Of course.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy intersection to begin with. But the locals did a really good job streaming traffic. And we knew we weren't going to get close enough to see anything or do anything because you kind of had to be there. But, there was an Arby's across the street. And I'm a big fan of Arby's roast beef sandwiches, so it wound
Thank
up
you,
being
Robert.
Wait a minute. Trump
Me
is
and
making
you both,
fries,
Robert.
and he's going into Arby's.
Most underrated fast food restaurant out there, Robert.
Oh, my God. He goes to a Trump rally and eats an Arby's.
My friends make fun of me for my obsession with Arby's. It is quality. It's good stuff,
I would
man.
never even think about eating there.
Oh, come on,
my
Henry.
God. Oh, Robert.
I had my first roast beef sandwich in 1974, and I've loved them ever since, so that's never going to change. But it was a really cool thing, man. I mean, the people there, the vibe, it's like it was happy. I mean, people were like jubilant. There was no rancor there. It was really cool, and I just thought that he did a good job doing that, and I don't think that franchisee has anything to worry about because he's going to get more Republican voters. And let's face it, most of the Democratic voters who go there are going to forget about it in a week and go back to getting their fries and nuggets.
Yeah, that's a good. Well,
So
and you heard Jim of the NAC say, I think the week after next week maybe, he's going to 5 to 7 one night, and we'll tell you about it. I'm going to go there just to see what it's like.
Newman Price
actually
went by, took a picture, and tweeted it out to at Dom Show 1210, and he said there's a line about 8-9 people deep already today at that McDonald's. So much for any kind of boycott.
There you go. Yeah. Good stuff.
And I hope it doesn't bother our friend Ben that much. Ben, please take a look at the updated FBI statistics. It shows that violent crime is up 5%, and that's without reporting from 32 of the 37 largest cities. So he's living in dreamland, and I'm not worried about the National Guard knocking on my... Oh, boy, Tom, they're so mindless. It's really hard to put up with, but it's funny to listen to. So I really appreciate you including the mindless in your audience. I think that's big.
Well, thank you. It's a public service. So what's your date, Robert?
I'm going to go to April 14th, 1865.
Okay.
Even that was to save President Lincoln. And even if Kennedy wasn't taken off the board, I still would have gone with the Lincoln assassination because I would have had a better chance of saving him because there was only one shooter there.
Yep, exactly right. All right, Robert,
You
thank
guys have a great day.
Dan is already putting up the Chiron, just so you know. I'll take you inside here at
It's a
Talk
long
Radio
title
1210.
today, man.
Yeah, for Riley Gaines is so accomplished. It's taken up lines of the board that I have in front of me. Who knew? She was a swimmer. She was going to go to dental school. She was made for this. Going to be a big event coming up, the Stand With Women event at the wrestling arena. I'm sure the Inquirer will mention that, down on Swanson Avenue Sunday, this coming Sunday. She's going to come on and give you all the details, and Tulsi Gabbard also there, part of it. I could just see the coverage of this, just the coverage of this. It's a winning issue. There is no doubt. The main course is inflation. Inflation is not coming down. The rate of inflation is coming down. You shop this week. I shop this week. It's hard to believe. That's baked in because the policies are still continuing, the energy policies. The only way we're going to get out of this is something drastic to pull us out of inflation. And diminishing the average American is what Biden has done. Now, if Harris opposes that, she ought to say so. All right, 855-839-1210, though, you get on board. Enjoy all the NFL action with a chance to win on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win a bet on a game this week. There are features in this app that are great. There's a parlay hub, popular bets, FanDuel Squares, the parlay. Dan, how many leg parlay did you play yesterday?
I think it was only 16.
Oh, only 16.
Only.
Yeah, exactly.
The retirement parlay.
You would have been better out there signing signatures with Elon Musk to get $1 million in a lotto drawing that's happening.
Wandale Robinson let me down.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't get it.
Mine was Malik Neighbors. But I did also place a different bet. Saquon Barkley over 150 rushing yards and a touchdown.
I wouldn't have bet that. I said bet the other side. What are the Giants thinking? You know this guy's going to be crazed. Did they hate the general manager and they want him gone? Maybe. Yeah.
They just can't get out of their own.
Well, that's true. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to make every moment more this season. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Business owners can count on McCausland Lock and Alarm to secure and control access to their facilities. Enjoy peace of mind while their access control and CCTV systems provide top-of-the-line protection for your assets. Tom McCausland's wealth of experience allows McCausland to effectively protect all types of facilities in any environment, and their customer service is unmatched. Call today, 610-430-1500. 610-430-1500. McCausland Lock and Alarm, securing your business, securing your future.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie, your radio doctor. Every Saturday afternoon at 5, I talk with doctors and medical specialists from around the country to discuss the latest information about heart disease, cancer prevention, topics in women's health, pediatrics, mental health, and more. Then you can make better decisions for yourself and your loved ones. Your radio doctor, Saturdays at 5, here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, because your health is your wealth.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
Hey, Cherry Hill. We know your favorite station is WPHT. Tell your smart speaker, play 1210 WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
Dom, right back to you. We got some great interviews coming up this next hour. We got tons to do. Take it away.
All right, and against my better judgment, this is a producer call, though. See, I'm just setting the battlefield. I'm going to go to Michelle in Bristol. Here we go, from the weekend. I'm a golfer. I never heard this before. Hey, Michelle, good afternoon. What's on your mind today?
Yes. I watched President Trump on stage talking about men's private part, one man particularly. And I want to know, do you think that was disrespectful for the women and children in the audience for him to bring that up?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was respectful for him to talk about?
No, Michelle, you don't want to listen to my answer, which is okay. I said it very
I'm
clearly.
going to listen to you because I know you want to cut me off. Go ahead.
Michelle, I said it very clearly. I said it was disrespectful.
You asked if it was disrespectful. You said yes.
Okay. Thank you. And do you think the president is a good role model for women and children and the daughters? Like, he disrespects women all the time. Do you think he's a good role model for children?
Michelle?
I do.
There are very good parts of him, and there are some that are not. That's true. So your point is what?
That he is not a good role model. And I listen to your station all the time, and you guys, everything he does is just fantastic.
Well, excuse me,
but
Michelle. Excuse me. That's not true. Excuse me,
so
Michelle.
Much, and he's disgusting.
Michelle, excuse me, Michelle. You just asked me two questions, and I agreed that these were disrespectful.
One of them, yes.
I said the second one is part of it is true. Michelle, again, I would ask you, how about the policies of Trump? How about what we had 4 years ago versus someone who just never got a vote in a Democrat primary, has no record of success, at least at the level that we're talking about? These are the two choices that we have now.
Well, listen to this. She has more experience than he has no experience. I can't understand a word.
Wait, Michelle. What does she have experience?
He mumble jumbles like a little kid.
Okay. What does she?
Weave back and forth on a stage for 45 minutes.
Michelle,
dancing around
what does she have experience
at?
at? What does she have experience at?
Lots more experience than he has in the government. She's been there.
Is that really the thing that is what Americans want? What's experience in the government? I don't think so. No, in fact, I think it's a detrimental thing.
She was the vice president.
Yeah,
she has more experience, and sometimes the vice president cannot do what a president does.
Thank you, Michelle. I wouldn't say this categorically, but by and large, long experience in the government is a negative. We all know that. If you have long experience in the government versus the private sector, you're locked into that same kind of mindset. So on that, and Harris has little or none. The argument is, well, she couldn't do anything. It was Joe Biden's administration. All right, phone lines are 855.
Producer's note?
Yes.
If there's somebody paying these callers to call us, please keep doing so because it makes some great content on the Dom Giordano program.
Thank you.
You're not the one who has to answer the phone.
Sorry.
Okay, yes. That's true. Yeah, but they're not. They didn't sound like seminar callers. Michelle a little bit more though. I know Ben. Yeah, she sounded a little bit more.
Ben really had like Lincoln Project undertones to it. I don't know.
Well, but that's not a. I know him. I mean, yeah, so I know who he is, etc. Yeah. So that's a given.
Sorry, my conspiracy theory mind's.
Riley Gaines is just all world to me. And again, having her on today, that she's coming here for this event. She and I talk about it all the time. It's a low-hanging fruit. If Americans actually believe you're dead set to have girls have to compete with boys, women with men, and also you won't back away from sex operations, gender-affirming care for those that are here illegally and are criminals in jails, that says a lot. All the rest of it's blather. Why would you do that? You just heard AOC say why she thinks we should do it. All right, 855-839-1210. By the way, the Daniel Penny trial is underway for that subway chokehold death, in which I think he rescued people there. We'll see what they do in New York. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, 5378. That includes your airfare, dining events at the winery in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Buy low, sell high. It's a cardinal rule of investing. With the market near record highs, you need a proven system that protects what you have earned without sacrificing opportunity for growth.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. With the stock market at record highs, I would recommend taking your money and put it into a crash-proof retirement system. This year, I have earned over 14%, and it can't be taken away.
Gail Schlosser, and I started with crash-proof retirement in 2016. I'm getting great returns, up to 12 to 15%, and it's not going to dwindle away in the stock market.
Regina Kukulski, Langhorne. This year, I earned 10.5% interest. I feel really good looking at that because it's not money I lost.
Dolores Queen, Hatboro, Pennsylvania. We have outperformed the market this year, and when we earn 14%, it's ours to keep.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
The following is a paid commercial message.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, this is a jam-packed 2 o'clock hour, and I say it all the time. Not to make her blush or feel this, but how in the world did Riley Gaines morph from this great swimmer who was going to go off to dental school into someone who is just so poised and so able to deal with all kinds of things. Not only that, listen to this resume, a partial resume, Dan. Independent Women's Forum ambassador, Outkick.com contributor, Gains for Girls podcast host, author of Swimming Against the Current, Fighting for Common Sense in a World That's Lost Its Mind, and coming to Philadelphia for the Stand With Women, headline Equality Isn't a Game, Tulsi Gabbard, Riley Gaines to hold Philadelphia Stand With Women event. We need leaders who stand with women. And one of the ways of doing that is to say that women shouldn't have to compete against men. Dan, you're running out of script there. Come on, Riley Gaines, stop it already. You can't have that many roles. Where does this woman find any time?
So many hats.
Yeah, so many hats. Let's bring Riley back to Philadelphia. Hey, Riley, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm always thrilled to talk with you both, and I'm glad you think I'm poised because I do not think my husband agrees.
Well, I don't know. To be plucked from the thing with
national media,
Leah Thomas, and then to deal with this, including some of the college escapades where people are coming at you physically, I think it's poised never to go irrational, and you keep fighting on what we just talk about every time you're on versus going off on something. And that's exactly what they're waiting for. So, Riley, you and Tulsi Gabbard, boy, that is a lot of star power together. Tell us what you're doing.
That's right. It is me and Tulsi and many other super-duper exciting guests, which I know will be revealed either today or later this week, so stay tuned for that. Look, we're excited to be in Philadelphia, in the state of Pennsylvania, of course, a very key state, both in the presidential election and, of course, with Dave McCormick, a big Senate race. So we're thrilled to be there. And the purpose of us being there, look, we are two women. Tulsi, you know, this is a former Democrat. Me, myself, I mean, as you described, someone who never saw myself in the position that I'm in, but nonetheless saw the need for it. We're just excited to be able to put our voices out there, hopefully be able to reach women, maybe women who don't necessarily like Trump, don't know how they vote, how they're going to vote when they get to the polls on November 5th. We want to reach these people and say, hey, this is what's at stake. This is what we're seeing happen across this country, and this is what we can do about it as everyday people who intuitively know that men and women and boys and girls and males and females are different. This is what we can do to combat this cultural chaos.
Yes, exactly. And you are perfectly suited because we've agreed there's a lot of issues around this transgender stuff. But the low-hanging fruit is all this effort that someday we arrived at a Riley Gaines through all the pioneers in women's sports, maybe some of your idols growing up, who really couldn't participate in the manner that you were able to do, and then to be pushed back at that moment by Leah Thomas and sacrificing all that for nothing. So, Riley, this event is Sunday, and I don't know if you know this, where it's being held, they used to have a lot of wrestling there. I don't think any will go on at the Swanson
I don't know,
Avenue
Riley. You
facility.
should be in a steel cage or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
cool.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it. Can we get like Keith Olbermann up there?
Yeah. And do you know the time, Riley, or what the website is where people should go to see all this?
Yes, I believe it starts at noon. Again, that is noon on the 27th in Philadelphia. Remind me what the arena is called. It's super cool, though. It's like a 360-degree
it used to be
setting.
ECW Arena. It's 2300 Arena now.
Right.
And it's just an absolutely amazing venue. Outside, right up front, you can go grab some drinks and then go watch Riley and Tulsi. And IWV.org is where you can get some tickets for that as well.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
So,
and again,
go ahead,
some
Riley.
very, very exciting guests to come. Other independent, historically independent, even former Democrats who have been outspoken and a key part of Trump's candidacy and campaign. You can expect on seeing some other really, really cool people, other athletes, wonderful people who are there in support of not just, of course, the gender ideology insanity that we are seeing from the progressive and radical left, but a lot of, again, the issues, both social, cultural, economic, in terms of our national security, wonderful and leading voices in this nation. You can expect to see some of those there on the 27th as well.
Well, we hope to get them on as we get more details. But Riley, I was making point the other day, because of you, your efforts, and some others, you inspired people like Ms. Scanlon to speak out. The Penn women, that was a very tough thing. And now we're seeing in the volleyball thing, the Nevada women said, no, we're going to forfeit. We don't care what the university says. And I believe even one member of the San Jose State team, at least one, is in opposition to the transgendered individual on their team and may be suing in part of the lawsuit. This is groundbreaking because when Penn happened, they were scared to death. And I understand, I'm not condemning them. They had a lot to lose. Penn went after them, and they essentially told them, your name will be out there forever. You'll never get hired.
No, you're right. It really shows you how far we've come in just maybe 2.5 years since then. The traction, the momentum, the willingness to state the obvious, kind of like the emperor wears no clothes parable, the willingness to quite literally, I guess literally, quite literally in this scenario, say, hey, that's a naked man. The willingness for people to be able to say that, it really is remarkable. I think it's tragic, actually. I think that's the word to describe it. It breaks my heart that we have to see young girls like Brooke Slessler, one of the girls you're describing, who is on the San Jose State team with the male, Blair Fleming, formerly Braden Fleming. It breaks my heart that we have to see these girls forfeiting, deciding and voting to take a loss, knowing that kind of defeats. It's pretty detrimental, honestly, to conference play, accepting a conference loss. But nonetheless, these girls understand it's a loss that they're willing to take. A lot of people view it as they're standing down, but in communicating with these teams, they tell me, Riley, we're not standing down, we're actually standing up. And what we're standing up for is far bigger than us or this team or a Mountain West Conference championship. We're standing up for the future generations, people like our younger sisters, or, hopefully one day we have daughters of our own. That's who we're fighting for. And so I could not applaud or commend their bravery and their leadership enough. Certainly more leadership than their coaches, than their athletic directors, than their presidents of universities, than the NCAA has shown over the past 2 years.
Riley, the thing, too, I think with you, I sense it because it's, I'll admit, a lot of my personality. You're fiercely competitive. When we talked about shaving off 100th of a second against Leah Thomas and all that, I've had sisters that played college sports, and I admire that so much. But there's another part to this. With volleyball, of all things, this woman on the other team, or transgender or gender fluid, is a spiker. There is a definite injury thing. You would think if they ignore what has been created here, there's one of the greatest developments societally, women in competition, Title IX, and all the things that have happened, you would think the injury thing from some of the women injured in this thing, that would play out a little bit at least.
They're not even just ignoring it. They are celebrating this. The coach of the San Jose State team went on to a few days ago say, hey, look, we just played. Blair led the team, again, the male. The male led the team with 18 kills. That's 18 shots to the face that he took at girls on the opposing team. We've seen him give career-ending concussions and head injuries to girls. We saw it at University of Delaware. We saw it at a tournament at University of Iowa. Go back and watch just yesterday their game against Air Force and look at the shots he was delivering, which, let me just note, a men's net is 7.5 inches higher than the standard women's volleyball net. It's almost as if they acknowledge that biological advantages and differences exist between the sexes.
On that. I didn't know that. So we're playing in a women's league. It's like if I'm playing basketball, my sport, and the baskets are 9 feet versus 10 feet, and yet we're having a guy run out there and dunk on a 9-foot basket.
The baskets are different, the size of the ball. All of these things. But you look at any sport, right? You look at gymnastics. The events in men's and women's gymnastics are totally different. Men have pommel horse. Men have the uneven, the rings. You look at golf. Women tee off at a different spot. You look at any single sport, and there are these I'll use the word handicaps. Again, I don't say that to say that women are inferior, But again, just to acknowledge reality here, there are these handicaps that exist in these sports for a reason. But again, our leaders, and I say that very loosely in air quotes, our leaders are failing to recognize. I don't actually think they're failing to recognize. I think it just doesn't matter enough to them. They're prioritizing inclusion over safety and fairness.
That's what the battle is. And when you tell the average American, when you break it down as you do, when you convince them, some of them are unaware this is actually happening. I come back to the sports thing. They go, no, this is not. We're not having any of this stuff. It's an obvious thing when you go into bathrooms and changing. Riley, one time you talked about how competitive it is to get into a swimsuit. It might take 15 minutes. I guess it's aerodynamic. Well, what is it that is necessary to? I mean, it's that fierce of 100th of a second that the swimsuit itself, but then how you configure it is part of winning and losing.
That's right. I mean, these suits that you put on, first of all, the suits cost like a ridiculous amount. They're good for about 10 races, and they cost, $400, $500 for 10 races. So that should tell you all of the different dynamics and different fiber systems and carbon systems they put into these suits. But again, you're right. You're doing all this to merely shave off 100th of a second, especially in a 50 freestyle. The top 16 in the NCAA are separated by oftentimes, a tenth, 2/10 of a second. You're fighting for hundredths of a second. So to put someone next to us in that pool who towers over us, I look over on the block next to me, there's a man, his feet take up the whole block, his arms are dangling down, they're lanky, you see his Adam's apple. To be pretty explicit here, but if I had to see it, you guys at least have to hear about it. You see a bulge in his women's swimsuit.
Riley, I hope you say this Sunday in Philadelphia, the Adam's apple, and we knew you were going to go with the bulge.
I've never been very good at having a filter. I'm sorry.
No, I'm very glad you said it. I hope you say it on Sunday with these women. There'll be a standing ovation. You better have spent 5 minutes. Yes.
You notice how it's almost instinctual to laugh because it really is like a South Park episode, which is objectively meant to be funny, or like a Babylon Bee headline or like an SNL skit. But again, what I just described is reality. It's more so a documentary than any sort of satirical skit. It's real life, which is crazy to me, even still.
Well, I just remember, too, with all that, you tied, and they said, we got to give the trophy to Leah Thomas. Oh, my God. Oh,
I know it.
I know goodness. It. But look at what it has led to, though. Not just what you're doing all over the place, but these other women that you inspired and these volleyball players. I'm glad they get it. The pioneers of women's sports, by doing what they're doing, they're aiding the future. This is going to end if Trump is elected. When he's asked, well, what are you going to do about this in sports? He said, we're just going to stop it. Exactly. It can.
Perfect. That's the kind of emphatic and moral clarity we need to see from, our commander-in-chief, the leader of the free world. It's really that simple. Just as the Biden-Harris administration has used their executive power to abolish Title IX, Trump is saying, I will use my executive power to reinforce why it was implemented and to remind women that they really are worthy of calling themselves champions.
Exactly.
The contrast between the two could not be more different. And a Biden-Harris administration, a Harris-Walz administration would be that on steroids.
Again, so. Dan, and for Riley, you have it in front of you. Where do people go for this big event this coming Sunday, the 27th, starting at noon in South Philly? Dan?
Yeah, it's 2300, the 2300 Arena, former ECW Arena down there in South Philadelphia. You can get tickets iwv.org. Fantastic event, October 27th, noon. Doors open at 11 a.m. Go get your tickets.
Riley, thank you. Enjoy this. Thank you. Where do we go for all things Riley Gaines, too, while you're here?
Well, I appreciate you guys. Always enjoy to be on with you. You can check out my ex at Riley_Gaines_. Again, please go to iwv.org. Get tickets for Sunday. Very, very exciting event. Again, more names to be announced this week. People who will be there. You'll hear from some of the nation's, best and most effective thought leaders that history's ever seen, really historical stuff going on, and you can expect to see that on the 27th in Philadelphia.
Thank you, Riley. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Riley Gaines, Dan, already. I have you on alert, you and Henry on trigger. Who is it that she's talking about coming here? All right, there you go. Historic now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any of the women.
ECW Arena, we just got off the phone with him. How about an appearance from Kane?
No, this is women.
Oh.
How do you like that line, though?
How about Kane with a wig?
No, Adam's apple and then a bulge with Leah Thomas. These other women just saying, can you imagine it takes you 15 minutes to put this on and Leah Thomas is strutting around in the area that you're in there?
Yeah.
It's to some of those callers today. What do you say to that? Well, you guys are picking on something inconsequential. Is it really, or is it a tell about what the Democrat Party has become? And this is what Harris defends, even though she's changed her position on everything else. All right, though, right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
So the money gone.
All right, today we're playing for a pair of tickets to see Brubeck Brothers Quartet on November 2nd at the Zlock, Love the Zlock Performing Arts Center on the campus of Bucks County Community College. Get your tickets there. Dan, what's the backstory?
Down today, we're doing a cover song. We're doing a cover song sung today by a person who's making headlines right now. This being sung before she was famous and had the chance to abuse a bunch of employees. Gonna put that out there. Take a listen. We want to know who this person is covering an Adele song before she was famous.
I heard that you've settled down, that you found a girl and you're I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I couldn't give to you.
23 years old there, Dom, singing.
I never would have guessed that's who it is. Not in a million years. No.
Quite the musician. Not a great piano player, as we can hear, but very good at another instrumental.
Yes, exactly. I don't know about the cover exactly, though.
It's not that good.
No,
and then she hits the chorus and she doesn't hit the high note.
When you do a cover for Adele too, you're into a realm of a voice. It's among the top. It's just an obvious.
She's got a great voice. She just doesn't seem to utilize it here.
Yeah, exactly.
Making headlines, Dom.
Who is that making headlines? I might play something from her too after we get the correct answer. Jump in and you're headed over to the Zlock at 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210.
The best for you to don't forgive me. I beg. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, sometimes it hurts instead.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
Hey man, come here. You're not gonna believe it. I picked up this beautiful model. She's down here.
A model?
Yep, got her from the train store.
In your basement?
See?
Oh, model train. Whew.
Yeah, what'd you think I was talking about?
Nicholas Smith Trains. Become the conductor with any model you can imagine, from classics to new releases and holiday-themed engines. Don't forget to visit Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys this holiday season. NicholasSmithTrains.com.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone. Lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
The 2024 presidential election is here. With the race neck and neck and with so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground, and we're breaking down the numbers until every last vote is counted, providing you with insight on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2024 presidential election Tuesday, November 5th, and listen to MSNBC Live on the free Odyssey app or wherever you watch MSNBC. Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli weekday afternoons 3 till 7 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, let's hear the clue today. Covering an Adele song, someone making a lot of news, and I'll tell you why after we get a winner.
You know how the time flies. Seems like yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by surprise.
All right, let's see if, another Dominic in Blackwood can get this. Hey, Dom, good afternoon. Who is covering that song?
Kamala Harris.
Not
She's making news. I mean,
not Kamala Harris either. Okay. Danny in Center City. Danny,
Get him out! Get him out of here!
Who's covering that song?
Is it Lizzo?
Yes, it is Lizzo. I will put you on hold. And here's why Lizzo is making news. This is almost as bad as The View ensnaring Kamala Harris by saying, well, how are you going to be different from Biden? Here is Lizzo at a rally. She's a Detroit native with Harris over the weekend in Michigan. Here's what she said.
So happy to be back in Detroit. You know, all the best things were made in Detroit. Coney dogs, Faygo, and Lizzo. I'm so proud to be from this city. You know, they say if Kamala wins, then the whole country will be like Detroit. Okay? Proud like Detroit. Resilient like Detroit. We're talking about the same Detroit that innovated the auto industry and the music industry. So put some respect on Detroit's name. Okay?
All right, there's a campaign ad. Going to be just like Detroit.
We're going to make America like Camden.
That's very apt. A big Camden, but apt, yes. We broadcast from there.
Actually,
back in the
recently.
day, I don't know. I have to think. Rich was with
We're
me.
gonna make
Rich
country like
and the
Kensington.
producer went into Detroit to give us a bird's eye view. I was broadcasting from the Ford Museum just outside, and not good. And I don't think it's changed much for the better. So let's make America like Detroit again. That's the way to go here. Wow. All right. Today, we're looking for that date and location in history. Today is the anniversary, the annual celebration of Back to the Future Day. Let's go to Joe in Bordentown on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe. Good afternoon. What do you have today? All right. Nothing from Joe. Sorry about that, Joe. Let's go to Bill in Bucks. Bill, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon there, Dom. Big weekend here in Bucks County, as you well know.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to point out that on Friday, I think it was Friday, the...
Oh, what happened?
What's happening here, Bill?
I don't know. This is
let's... look, I got people calling me in. Well, Harris is not a role model. No, that's we know all the back and forth over that. So we're not doing that. We got it. Trump role model. Her background in this. We've been through both of those. We're looking at. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Do you want to go back to those policies?
I think we got the kinks worked out. If you did want to take any more, feel free.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Drew in Upper Darby. Hey, Drew. Good afternoon.
Hey, Dom. Thank you so much for taking my call, man.
You're welcome.
It's a great show. I appreciate it. Hey, Dom, on the morning of 9/11, 6 or 7 of the hijackers went through the Portland, Maine airport gate.
Yes.
And what strikes me, the ironic part about it, I don't know if many people know this. I know you'll get it. The police chief of Portland, Maine at that time was Michael Chitwood. And it just astonishes me that, like, on his watch, and I love the guy, on his watch that actually happened,
Was it Michael Chitwood or Michael Chitwood Jr.?
No, the father.
The father. Okay. All right. I didn't know that.
He was a police. Yes. So I just found it so ironic. That's so, and I know you had it on your show numerous times. So I appreciate it, Dom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's where you're going. You're going back to prevent that.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, gotcha.
I would give my life if I had to. And on the morning when the National Guard knocks on my door, I'm going to welcome them in for coffee and donuts, because I guarantee you, I probably know some of them.
All right,
So,
thank you, Drew. What a great guy. Wanted to play you this because by tomorrow we'll be a little bit off the McDonald's thing. This is Cut 28, Dan. Listen to the morning crew on CNN. Now, some of them differ, but they give a grudging respect to say, that Trump, closing the deal, going to McDonald's, putting the knife, so to speak, in Kamala Harris and the resume, and also interacting with people there. Listen to what they say. I may stop it here, Dan, at a certain point, but Cut 28.
A part of me thought, wow, is that real? I never thought he would do something like that. The Trump that we saw in 1999 in that old ad is the one that was much more familiar to me. Like, look, we're going to run this town, right? Like someone who owns a McDonald's, not someone who works in one. I mean, clearly they have a strategy to try to appeal to working class voters, try to, twist the knife on Harris. But I still found these images to be jarring.
Well, part of what is so striking about them is that he's not trying to not be Donald Trump. Like some politicians go and they try to dress up as somebody they're not. He's still got the red tie. He's still so clearly himself. And I think this was an unbelievably smart move, because one thing that has differentiated Donald Trump from other really wealthy politicians is that he has never been seen as the aloof, the billionaire who would never deign to hang out with the commoners. Like, he has always sort of portrayed himself as, I'm the rich guy who doesn't really like the other rich guys. I'm one of you. And this is part of this. I think this was insanely smart.
Well, to that point, it is part of a larger effort on the Trump campaign to sort of soften Donald Trump's image. It's why you've seen his grandkids sort of being appearing at the rally.
They actually talked about throwing the tie back over when he was doing the fryer, too. It was Solis Anderson, the pollster, who leans Republican there, made a great point. he was able to do that. He didn't put a McDonald's hat on. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. He showed up in the suit, put the apron on, and was engaging with people. It was a master stroke.
The humanizing moment in that clip was when he threw the salt over his shoulder. It was like such a normal reaction that anyone was like, oh, like we all do that when you're cooking or whatever. And so that was the most like normalizing and humanizing moment, I think, in this clip. But to your point, like he still has his shirt on, his tie on. Like most politicians would have showed up in like a collared shirt or something that said McDonald's and tried to like more fit in. I did find it striking that the whole restaurant was shut down and it was just sort of like a staged event. But
Okay, we had to get that part.
Really playing the fence there, right?
Yeah, but he showed up as he was. I thought he was going to show up in the golf outfit, the red hat, the white golf shirt, and the black pants. But
I love he looked like Dave Thomas hanging out the window.
Yeah, he did. It did.
I loved the look.
Yeah, maybe he can get over to Montgomery County with the truck the Mr. Softy truck that's going out. Coming up, Tom DeBello blows the whistle on that. He is the minority Montgomery County commissioner, who says now the Mr. Softy truck that does who knows what with a voting process is headed to Graterford Prison. Boy, don't Mr. Chairman out there, don't you know Democrat voters? That's exactly where I would go. Let's go to the prisons first. Where do we go after that? We may ask that someday. Where do they go to find their voters? College campuses, prisons. 855-839-1210. Jump in on the side question. The NBA is back, and I think Sixers start this Wednesday. And FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Because right now, FanDuel is giving all users 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater to place any $5 bet on the NBA. I mean, you have great storylines, the Lakers, LeBron, and Bronny playing together. The New York Knicks, oh, God, the New Yorkers having to deal with that. We're going to beat them this year, though, with the big three of the Sixers. If you're new to FanDuel, just visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. Have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
The work week starts off with high temperatures a good 15 degrees above average. Plenty of sunshine today with a high 81. It does cool down tonight, mostly clear, low 56 for the city and cooler out in the suburbs. Another very warm day on Tuesday, plenty of sunshine with a high again, 81.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The following is a paid commercial message.
It's happening here in Pennsylvania. Sanctuary cities are releasing violent illegal immigrants onto our streets with the help of Bob Casey. Casey voted repeatedly to fund these dangerous sanctuary cities. Casey's policy let more illegals, more criminals loose in our neighborhoods, making our families less safe. Worse, instead of deporting criminal illegals, Casey voted to give them amnesty. Casey's amnesty would give illegal immigrants your Social Security and Medicare. That's right, Casey would give your benefits to illegals, but he'd also make you pay more. Casey voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits. Seniors can't afford higher taxes? Bob Casey, taxing you to pay illegals. It's just another Casey con job. It's time for a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair and say hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume from New Nordic.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Tom DeBello is the voice of sanity, if there's any left out there. This guy running the commissioners on a $143,000 Mr. Softy vehicle, but the pop-up, etc. Where is that going? Is it going to any Republican areas to offer services to make voting easier? I would be against it, too. I mean, I think we went way too far. How are we supposed to watch this stuff? What's next? Some kind of mind melding and they'll know who you're voting for? But they're going to the prison. They're going to the big house, walking the line, Graterford. Who's going to be eyeballing them to determine what they're doing with voters there with the Mr. Softy truck? Will they be serving ice cream? And if so, what flavor? I'd like to know. What's the draw with all these prisoners seeing the pop-up truck coming? Let's go to Tom DeBello, who is a commissioner out of Montgomery County. Hey, Tom, good afternoon, and thanks for keeping us in your loop. What's happening with the Mr. Softy truck?
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on, as always. It's not actually going to the Graterford prison. It's going to the county prison.
Okay.
But much of the same. I just got word of this late last week, and I'm not really sure what the goal is, but they're going to be parking this vehicle out front of the prison, and they're going to go in, and I don't know if it's the warden or whoever's going to identify who could come, and receive mail-in ballot applications. Obviously, today's the last day to register to vote, so they can't register to vote, but they could still request mail-in ballot applications, fill them out, submit them, get approval, get a mail-in ballot, and turn it in all there at the county prison. There's voting laws in place. From my understanding, if you're already convicted, you can't, within a felony, you can't vote. If you are voting, my understanding is you have to be released prior to Election Day. So the only people they could potentially be targeting are people that are incarcerated that haven't been convicted yet. But we don't know what those numbers are. We don't know how they're going about it. It's just bizarre that we're doing this. I shouldn't say we because I don't support it. This is just ongoing. I've talked about this. The ice cream truck van has been at several different locations that have been really more party strong than in other party locations. I mentioned last week, well, why aren't we going to the gun show in Oaks? Oh, we don't know if we could do that. It's
a great question.
Because maybe the majority of people that would show up there are Republican versus Democrat, or they're not the kind of people that they want voting because, gun sales overall in Montgomery County or just nationally are up. People are very concerned about what our future holds. And the number one, just as a side from what I've seen reported, is the number one purchaser of guns right now are suburban women.
Sure,
so
exactly.
These are interesting things going on, yeah.
So, Tom, the transparency issue, we had on the group the other day that is suing them over this for lack of transparency. I mean, we already have all kinds of satellite offices. We have drop boxes. Now, I know, to me, that's my biggest concern. If you have the drop box in the public building and constantly monitored, but Montgomery County, I think it was 2020, had this incident where a woman comes with 400 ballots from a nursing home saying she's an agent of this, that, or other. It went through the courts. Seems to be unclear. Why in the world are we continuing to put things out there that are suspect? The only thing I'll say, due to your voice on this, the average person in Montgomery County's got to ask themselves, is this a good use of taxpayer dollars, people that might be convicted felons, to go to this length to have them vote when the number there that legally can vote is minuscule? Why are we not doing something to enhance with that $143,000 the lives of people in Montgomery County to make government more convenient for them?
Well, it's a great question, and several people have commented, to me that they must be concerned that they're trying to tally the votes somewhere. And I said, well, when you look at polls and all that, I guess they should be concerned, although we don't know how things are going to end up on Election Day. But they're out there. They're doing everything possible to secure additional ballots or additional votes. And like I said, they're really targeting certain areas that are more one party over another. And it's very obvious if you look at the voter rolls and look at where they're going. But the prison population, it's just one more stop. And they're going to say that everyone deserves a right to vote, and that's true. Everyone does deserve a right to legally vote, but there are so many ways already to vote. And look, I've asked for numbers, and I did see an email come. I haven't had a chance to open it yet today, but I've been asking for what's the true cost of us showing up at these different locations, because not only are we sending a $143,000 van, but we're sending 5 to 6 people, employees or more, to these locations. And then we have our comms department going with it because they want to be taking pictures and videotaping, and so sometimes there might be 7, 8 people there, on the county dime, and I don't think it's a good use of taxpayer dollars. And look, 2020, we had over 220,000 mail-in ballots in 2020. We put more infrastructure in place for mail-in ballots in 2024, and we're going to see about 50,000 less mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, so we're spending all this additional money. And, I'm starting to question everything, because I pushed to go status quo this year because I didn't want to introduce additional concerns or problems. We end up changing the printer. Well, right now, a problem that we're having is the ballot, the envelopes that come with the mail-in ballots are coming sealed. And, they said, well, we've had this issue before, and it could happen. But now we're seeing, tens of thousands of people are potentially reporting that their envelopes are sealed. Then you're starting to question, like, what's going on, because then they go and they request mail-in ballot. They cancel out their mail-in ballot, and then they give them a new packet.
I hear you.
And so I went to
Tom.
Well, I'll just say real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. So I went to one polling location, and they weren't spoiling the ballots that they were taking back. I said, you got to spoil those. You got to write void on them. And they weren't doing that. So there's all these different things that are going on. And I'm fighting the fight, and, and people are joining the fight now because they're and when I mean fight, I don't mean, we're going out and burning down the city.
Well, Tom, would you do this? Would you get some of those facts on how many sealed and all that? Anything you get, you hook up with Dan, and we will have you back. But thank you for bringing this to our attention.
All right, Tom, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom. So, Dan, you heard what he said there, too. Different printer, and now the ballots, he says, well, he's going to get an exact number, Dan.
Good.
Yeah, let's check in with him tomorrow. I thought it was humidity. How many were sealed? This guy's pushing the envelope when this whole mail-in ballot thing is difficult to pull off, and he's expanding it without transparency. Montgomery County has lost their mind. They, in some ways, are pushing the envelope more than Philadelphia. That's what I think is happening here. All right, it is the lightning round next here. We got a lot of good ones here that we'll get to. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Hey, for years I've talked about the health benefits of Rescue Natural Supplements after making their omega-3s part of my daily routine. From supporting heart health to providing pain relief, they provide essential nutrients that impact our bodies in so many ways. Listen to the recent comment from Carol. She says triglycerides are at an all-time low. It increased my well-being, while joint pains, muscle aches have increased. They have decreased, too. People like Carol have trusted Rescue with their health goals. Now it's your turn. For a limited time, use the code OMEGA50 for an exclusive buy one, get one free offer on any of the 7 Rescue Omega-3 choices. To get the special radio offer, it's easy. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483, or use the code online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Remember that code, OMEGA50, OMEGA 50. Buy one, get another Rescue Omega-3 absolutely free.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
I'm Tahisha Way, New Jersey's Lieutenant Governor, with a message for New Jersey voters. You have 3 voting options in the general election. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. Vote early, in person Saturday, October 26th through Sunday, November 3rd. Or apply for, complete, and return a mail-in ballot. Whatever you choose, vote by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. Details at vote.nj.gov.
Of course, we all need to save a little cash these days. Saving money on your utility bills is a great start. Sign up for the CNC Heating and Air Conditioning Maintenance Plan. Minimize the wear and tear of your system and lower your energy bills this winter. If your HVAC needs replacing, CNC makes budgeting for your new system a snap with 0% financing options. Schedule an estimate today with CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York certified comfort experts. Start saving today. Visit cc-hvac.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
Got a roofing problem? Don't let it ruin your day.
Emmons Roofing and Siding offers professional roofing services, from repairs to complete lifetime warranted replacements.
And you can trust our experienced team to keep your home safe and secure. And we can even handle insurance claims for you.
Give us a call today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on the web at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
To inside and out.
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Let me preview a little bit of tomorrow's show. At least Stefanik will be with us. And also, Dan, you probably have no knowledge of this, but if you're in radio and all this, particularly all those radio stations out there on Bowa, Jaime's is an historic place that you go.
What's the name of it?
Lunch. Jaime's.
Okay.
They're in the news.
Something else there
The
for a second.
Inquirer just reporting that the owner there, I think I met him once because I was there dozens of times over the years. They filmed a Trump ad there, and all hell's breaking loose. He said he would do a Harris ad if they wanted to pay and do it. But more detail on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hope
Yes.
to have him on.
Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. We'll work on it. By the way, the lightning round, Dom's Lightning Round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, let's go. And Roe was just talking about him today, Dan. Breaking down the voice, the manner, the subtleties of Joe of Exton. Hey, Joe, welcome in.
Yes. Hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Afternoon, Joe.
I would like to go back to the Italian Renaissance of 1508 to observe Michelangelo painting religious figures on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
That is, Joe, have you ever been? I've been and I've seen it. It's hard, but you think some profanity was involved there. Things might not going well. That's a lot. That is the masterpiece of masterpieces, arguably, right?
Yeah, really. We were studying the Sistine Chapel in my class of History of Art.
Good one, Joe. Thank you very much. Gary in Newtown. Gary, what's yours today?
Go with September 13th, 1958, which is the day before my uncle, who I never met, passed away, so that my mom and her brother, who came upon, he was the first one upon the accident in Bensalem, not too far where Trump was and Pinocchio Joe was yesterday, and died in a motor vehicle accident. He went up the side of the road and hit a tree, so they could get to say goodbye and or tell him not to race his car.
Gotcha. Thank you, Gary. Boy, that's a really personal, right?
Personal one, but just
Yeah,
overall,
exactly.
just going to the day before.
Yeah,
death
the
of a loved
Earl
one.
of Tacony, Dan. Earl, what's yours today?
Yeah, mine would be May 6, 1937 in Lakehurst, New Jersey, to see the explosion of the Hindenburg. I mean, to actually, be that close to, a man-made disaster, to, see something, that impressive. Also, I have some family history with that. Family legend has it that the members of the flight crew from the Hindenburg used to stay at my great-grandmother's house at 58th and Chestnut back in the day because they came from the same village in Germany.
Oh, you're full of hot air.
Oh, you've been sitting on that line for quite a while. Oh, the humanity, Earl. All right, there you
Were
go.
we all traveling in Zephyrs if that thing hadn't exploded?
Yes,
Tom?
we probably. Oh man, yeah, don't. Let's.
Well,
let me
they
see.
had a dock
Yeah.
up on top of the Empire State Building, right?
They did. Yes. Let's get Bruce in. This is a really good one, though. Back ancient history. Bruce, what's yours?
Hey, Dom. Nice to chat with you again. The day was September 21st, 1964, Economax. I just realized that's exactly 60 years ago today. But anyway, I'd be sitting at the third base line at Economax Stadium during the game in which Chico Ruiz stole home, and that started the downward 10-game losing streak. And just as Ruiz took his first step toward home, I would yell out to the pitcher, "Yo, Ruiz is going home, throw to home," upon which he would throw home, and Ruiz would be out, and the curse would be thwarted, and that would be great.
Very good stuff. A little bit ancient, but it all happened. The guy steals home. I mean, you're not seeing that in Major League Baseball. Henry, who do you like?
Yeah, so I like those last two there. I like
Okay.
Earl's of the Hindenburg because I do think that would be an incredible sight to see. And then, yeah, if I could get a chance to turn the Phillies' fortunes around from, 60 years ago. That'd be great.
Dan?
I'm throwing Gary in there just because I think I'm not usually a personal answer kind of guy, but this is something a lot of people can relate to. If they could time travel, I think they would try to prevent the death of a loved one.
I would make an exception on that and go with it. It was a moving call. Let's go with Gary in Newtown.
All right,
today.
into that.
All right, big show tomorrow. Congresswoman Stefanik will be with us. We'll see what other places, McDonald's and now Jaime's Restaurant in the news. Amazing what's going on. Rich Cioli will be next. Don't forget, follow on Twitter at DomShow1210. And I hope you get out there to see Riley Gaines and Tulsi. And we're talking to some other, she mentioned historical women. I'm not sure who may turn up, but you'll hear them here first. Have a great night. Go home with Rich here. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.